ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Off Point. My name's Les Steed.
I'm Marlon White.
And today we're joined by Celia.
Hi.
Hello. So, Celia, tell us all about yourself.
Okay, where do I start? Okay, I'm a podcast host also.
Oh, yeah. We've been on our podcast. It's
yeah.
great.
I'm a content creator. I am all about women empowerment. So when I say women empowerment, let me just clarify that. I'm not telling the women to be boss babe. I don't need men. It's none of that. Just to clarify that.
We were wondering about that.
No. When I say women empowerment, what I mean by that is that I want women to have the confidence to be back, come back home to themselves, and have the courage to embrace who they are, their uniqueness, being their authentic self. Have the courage to embrace their femininity, their sensuality, just build a loving relationship with themselves, basically. Not this, boss babe, I don't need nobody. No, that's just toxic femininity.
Yeah, because we were chatting about this before you came along, and we were saying that, there's that whole sort of, the sort of girl boss thing, which of course, it's been on the internet a lot with the whole sort of the fall of Marvel, so to speak. But how do you feel about that? With the whole sort of, do you think that that's actually helped women, empower women, that whole sort of girl boss sort of superheroes, that kind of thing?
To be honest, there's nothing wrong with being a girl boss, but just knowing when to, also know how to receive, because there's this, today society will always say oh yeah, I'm a girl boss, I don't need men to help me, I don't need help. But if you think about in a company, how the manager or the CEO, whatever, they can't do everything by themselves. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So even for you to be a girl boss, you still need to be able to open to receive, allow the talents of other people to help you and build whatever you're trying to build. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with being a girl boss, but just know how to, soften at the same time.
It's okay to ask for help.
Yeah, exactly. Asking for
accept partnerships and help.
Yeah. Exactly. Asking for help doesn't make you weak. Yeah. No. In fact, receiving is a feminine power.
Right.
Absolutely.
So there's always a lot of talk of toxic masculinity. Is that feminine?
This on your podcast as well. We're totally stealing all the questions you asked us. This is literally what it all is in shorthand. It's just
it's toxic femininity, a thing. I've never really heard anybody really talk about that.
Yeah, I've never heard that phrase before.
Really?
Yeah, not really. We're not allowed to say that phrase.
It always gets thrown at us. Your toxic masculinity.
Maybe this is an American thing.
I think so. Yeah, I think there's a lot of influence from America.
Okay.
Because beforehand we were all just sitting there I didn't realise I was toxic. Yeah. It's I just want to go to McDonald's.
I've just been a guy.
Yeah, exactly. It's okay, I probably shouted at someone, but that's probably because they flipped me off.
When I say toxic masculinity, I don't mean as in you shouting those kind of behaviour.
That's aggression, I think.
It's more what they mean you suppressing the emotions. Men have to men can't show emotions, otherwise you're weak, you're gay, basically. Yeah, exactly. It's that kind of thing. That's what toxic masculinity is.
Right.
Yeah.
So what is toxic femininity then?
So basically what I just described, thinking, I'm good, I'm the boss babe, I don't need men, anti-men, men are headache, things like that. Basically that. To be honest, we both toxic in our own ways anyway.
Oh, everyone's got faults. I mean, you wouldn't be human if you weren't. I mean, hell, I definitely put my foot in it a few times on my podcast. On your podcast. Blowjob comment.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's so funny, though. It's like, what can women do to make life better for men? I just blurted out ADHD at the ready. I was like, blowjobs.
I'm still figuring out what I'm going to do with that. Whether I should bleep it out.
No, we can. What she meant is she just got rid of the keys to life. But it's not joking. But what I actually meant by that, to be clear, because it's been bothering me all bloody week.
Really?
It was more about intimacy. I didn't mean to be intimate with us when and get in under our little armour and have a snuggle. That's what I actually. I had to try and explain this one earlier to Elena, and it's I didn't mean blowjob.
Do you want me to keep it in there then?
Well, we're talking about on the podcast. I think you should keep it.
Yeah, you might as well. But no. Yeah, but let's add this little clip where I explain it.
So stay tuned, people.
Be it's like little star. It's to be clear. When I said what I said, I'm gonna be like one of the politicians apologising for something. So how do you find that balance then between female empowerment and kind of going that sweet spot between feeling like shit about yourself and feeling kind of quite trodden on as a woman and being sort of a bit too girl boss? Where's that balance?
Sorry, say it again.
Where do you find the balance? How would you define an empowered woman?
How do you define empowered women?
How would you define? Like,
define
naked button. Yeah, not defy. Jesus, I don't come. We're not. Could you imagine? It's like I just want to know because she's getting on my ass a little bit lately. She's been nagging a lot. I just want to. Yeah, because she actually is a boss.
So an empowered woman to me is someone who's confident, who knows who she is sure who she is, knows what she wants and what she doesn't want. She has boundaries. She honors herself. She does. She has boundaries. I said. She would not dim her light. She would literally just show up as her true authentic self. It's like, if you don't like it, then bye. I haven't got time for you. Yeah. Then she loves herself. She honors herself. Yeah.
Yeah, so like someone who sort of sits there, looks in the mirror, doesn't hate herself as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Loving relationship, like loves herself unconditionally.
That's really good. I like that a lot. What was it you said? It was so when you say like setting up boundaries, because this is something I've struggled with myself. Because ADHD, we don't, our boundaries are out here, whereas most people's are here, and that's why we tend to overshare and things like that. So like, not to always bring it around to that, but how would you what boundaries would you set yourself? Like, as in, like, what boundaries have you had to put up in the past? What's tough ones especially, because it can be quite difficult. So
boundaries, I always say to people, they come in different ways. So people think boundaries is just, usually people think boundary is saying, if say no when you mean no, say yes when you mean yes, right? But boundaries can actually come in the most unexpected ways. So for example, let's say, I'll give an example of one of my most recent experience, which is a breakup. So I had to leave a guy that I was seeing, and reason that we decided to basically stop seeing each other because I'm trying to summarize this, but basically it was hurting me basically. But he didn't do nothing. He didn't cheat on me or nothing. Like, he wasn't doing anything wrong. But it was just the situation, the way it happened is just it was hurting me. So basically, I tolerated a lot of the stuff that he did because he couldn't really show up for me. He was basically breadcrumbing me, okay?
What's that mean?
Oh. Did you lots of vocabulary here?
Yeah, no,
breadcrumbing is like, for example, like, let's say you're dating someone, they will be hot and cold, and sometimes when they're not around, they will give sort of like sprinkle you a bit of this, trying to sort of like tag you along, sort of thing, and then when they are, maybe they want to see you, then they're all out, but when they're not available, they will just give you a little piece of them, something like that.
My girlfriend does that. Sorry, like, she's like, she's not around. It's during the week, not allowed to come over.
So anyway, he was breadcrumbing me, and then in the end, I was just like, but I was allowing it. I was like, you know what? It's okay as long as I get to see him. I'm okay. But what I mean by this is where the boundary is at. It's like I was somewhat sort of people pleasing, meaning I was scared I was going to lose him. So I lost that boundary where I just like allowed him, you know what, it's okay as long as I get to see him over the weekend or whenever he's available.
It's like when you're making yourself available for him, but he's not willing to do the same for you.
Yeah, sort of thing. So do you mean, so like that boundary, I didn't see it at the time.
Balance,
I didn't see it at the time because, they say, when you're really into someone, you sort of lose yourself. I kind of did, but...
you do,
and
you think he was doing that on purpose, or it was just like he had a busy job, or
no, he wasn't doing purpose. I know why, but I don't want to say it here. Right. But I know why. Okay. So, but it's, in a way, it wasn't. Just I was making excuses for him as well. I know why, but I was also making excuses for him.
Yeah, but there's one thing like there's like sort of like, like if your husband or your boyfriend or whatever says something silly, and we've all said something silly at a barbecue, and your girlfriend's like, it's like, shut up. And versus when you have to make excuses for like behaviours that are hurting you. I think that's
and also boundaries can also have not just boundaries for people, boundaries with yourself. So for example, that situation could be basically I should have not allowed him to do that for my own.
How would you have stopped it?
Just basically, I should have been more mindful, conscious about it, and be like, knowing that, sort of like. Be aware in the beginning, saying, listening to my intuitions, because I didn't feel good at the time. I know, I know it wasn't making me feel good, but I was just suppressed. I was like, you know what, I'm just making an excuse. Like I said, I'm making an excuse for him. Maybe, just maybe, something would change and he would be available like that.
It's hope, isn't it?
Hope's the hope. Oh my God, trust me.
Hope is more deadly than that's the one that fucks you up the most. I've had relationships like that in the past where, you hope that they're going to be a better person for you, or like you hope they're gonna be there for you, and then they just turn around and absolutely shaft you. Like when you're in your only time that you need them, and they're just like not there, and you're just like, and you never forget that.
Yeah.
So do you think the warning signs were there in the very beginning?
Oh yeah, 100%. When I look back now, I'm thinking, oh my god, I know I ignored them. I 100% ignore those red flags. But I don't regret what happened because I've learned from it. I now learned that boundaries could, like I said to you, boundaries come in different ways, and my self-love was tested, and this time I actually feel empowered because I actually had the courage to walk away, whereas a lot of girls would still like stay, right? Whereas I actually said to him, you know what, I love you, but I love myself more.
Yeah, good.
So nice. I have to, as much as it's hurting me, but I know it's temporary. Like I know that in the long run, when I come out this tunnel, I'll be this brand new and empowered.
It does take a lot, like they say, you know, it takes time to heal. But the problem with that, of course, when you're in pain, is that time takes ages because it gets stretched out.
Time doesn't necessarily heal. You have to do the work. If you're just there, sitting, not doing none work and not feeling it and always distracting yourself and always going out, you know, while dating, like, for example, you might be getting drunk or going out all the time, but you're not actually processing the emotions. Time doesn't matter how long it has been. If you don't deal with the emotions, it will always come back up.
I guess that's what they say with men. A woman will feel those feelings and then eventually get over it. A man will just try to numb themselves, and then it pops up 10 years later.
Is that true? But you know when after a breakup, they say like, usually men they seem to move on really quick.
No.
But then afterwards, later on, they realize when they realize, oh shit, I actually miss her, and it was because they suppressed all the emotions.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right.
Yeah, well, I think that men take longer to get over a relationship than women do in total, because I think, you know, because part of that is because we're not the sexual selectors, and like it's like if, for example, you go on Instagram, on a dating profile as a bloke, you're lucky, you know, like you're kind of trying to get anybody really. It's more, you know, whereas I think girls get to choose more. But I don't know that because I'm not really, you know, I've never been a woman on an Instagram thing, but I'm fairly sure they could probably get some cock a lot faster than I could get laid myself. And I'm not bad looking. So yeah, like, you know, like, it's like, I mean, don't get any, but without going into too much detail, but like, so do you feel that you kind of used that journey that you went through following breakups and your own personal past, I don't want to say issues,
experiences,
bumps in the road, is that what kind of channeled you into?
100%. The reason why I'm so passionate about self-love and empowering women is because of all my previous relationships, life experiences, basically.
What kind of life experiences what led you, where you were at that point where you're like, okay, I need to share this with other people? Because
watching your content, I've seen that you said you haven't always been a confident person.
Oh no,
like in school. I think I remember you telling a story about people rating people in school, and then somebody like, how would you rate Celia? And they're like 0 or something like that.
There's a minus.
Yeah. I had an issue with this myself when I was little, because none of the girls, when I was playing kiss chase and like in junior school, and none of the girls wanted to kiss me, so I put myself on a little mission for the next 7 years in my secondary school to become the #1 stud. And I basically dated every girl in the year. Like 2 weeks, for like 2 weeks at a time, for like that. Actually, I don't love you. And it's like, there's me just like, oh no, my little year 8 heart is broken. You know, like, pain. It's all pain. Yeah. But so like, how was that for you though? Like, how did you build yourself up from that?
So
deep.
Where shall I mention? Where shall I start? Okay, so like that story you said, basically, back in school, I never felt pretty because
you are pretty.
Oh, thank you. Felt I was really
objectifying women.
Felt ugly all the time, especially in school. And like you said, the girl was like, "Oh, rate all the girls in the class," and then when it came to my name, the girl was like, "Oh, what about Celia?" sort of thing.
Oh, what a bitch!
And he was just like that, and then she was like, and she was like, minus 0 point blah blah blah, like that. Like literally,
that bitch.
That's the most.
Get her hair, cut her hair.
And but you know what's so funny though? Like this is sound so bitchy, but
no,
you know what?
You look her up.
But you know,
find him.
But listen to this: the girl who even said that, you know, she's not even pretty to herself. Sorry,
but that's probably her projecting her insecurities and being
like. I was just thinking, you know, but at the time, obviously, it did hurt me.
course it hurt you. That's a fucking shit
you was a teenager.
Yeah, I was like
That's not okay.
14, 15,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
that.
what the hell?
But you know what? Let me tell you something. Obviously, I have not shared this picture of me when I was in secondary school. You know, everyone in secondary school, we have that awkward teenage years. I actually looked like a typical nerd. Basically, had braces, train tracks.
I have that as well. Yeah, it's amazing how many people want to date you once they come off. Isn't it?
And I was wearing
Do you still have
glass.
the scars on the inside of your mouth as well?
What?
Well, I got hit with a hockey stick and I've still got a scar.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Whatever.
I had train tracks and I was wearing glasses.
Nerdy. It just came out.
Yeah. Nerdy, basically.
Oh, you deserve to be bullied then.
Yeah, and then so there was that, and then what happened was the confidence started coming when I was 16 because you was able to wear contact lenses. So there goes.
Are you not allowed to wear contact lenses before the age of 16?
Yeah, because your eyeballs are not developed yet.
I thought they were the same size when you're a baby.
That's what I thought, but apparently not. But anyway, so I started wearing them, and then the confidence started coming, and actually started getting boys getting attention. But obviously, that's the service level type of confidence that
it's nice to get compliments.
But what really changed me was fitness.
Oh.
Yeah, at the age of 21, my boyfriend at the time took me to a bodybuilding gym.
Oh, wow.
And
that's quite an intimidating place to go.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
They are the friendliest people, though.
Yeah. For like a girl who's not even to fitness, know nothing about fitness, like he was like, just come with me. I was like, are you sure? Because I didn't see not one woman there. And he was like, I was like to him, are you sure this is for women? This is not just men. He goes, no, there is. Sometimes you do see women there. Anyway, so the first thing he actually got me to do, the very first thing he got me to do is a pull-up. And he was like, and he goes to me, jump up there and do a pull-up. And I was like, excuse me?
That's advanced stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, excuse me?
There's an up part to it.
Yeah.
Why?
And then I jumped up I jumped up. I couldn't even hold myself. I dropped straight back down.
Horrible.
And then he was like, I know what? He had a go at me. He goes, oh.
What? He had a go at you?
Yeah, he was
what
like, he goes,
wait, that's an advanced
he was
thing to do,
Mr.
though.
Right there for a moment, and then
He
it's
was
like,
like-
you don't have to go at someone because they're
he
trying.
didn't actually shout. He was just like, he would literally shaking his head, just like, yeah, you actually have no upper body strength, babe. That's not good, like that. And I was like, oh, and I used to be like, I don't want to try upper body because I'm scared I'll be manly either. Then he goes, no, you won't, blah blah. But anyway, so then, so anyway, so he started training me, and then after 3 weeks, I started seeing like small muscles popping out like that. And then I was like, okay, so it looks like that I can actually sculpt my body into the body I want. And that's how I started getting like the confidence, and I started seeing my posture was changing, the way I was speaking was different. And then that's when I decided I'm going to become a personal trainer to empower women through fitness, because I know there are a lot of women who are like me, thinking the same thing. I don't want to lift weight because I look manly, and two, thinking that this is not for me, this is for men only. But if I can do it, so can they.
Yeah,
you know?
It's also about the discipline.
So is there a way you did it that you didn't become like more muscular,
or like you could sort of do it so you didn't feel jacked?
Yeah, like like certain areas you targeted it, as opposed to like I'm going to lift weights and get big arms or stuff like that.
So if you to get like big muscle, for women to get big muscles, like get like muscular, yeah. Basically, you have to train a certain, which is like train really heavy and eat lots and lots and lots and like high protein. Some of them probably even have steroids. You never know like that. But no, like I lift quite heavy.
How much do you lift, if you don't mind us asking?
Okay, so I can do dumbbell chest press 14 kg each.
It's not bad.
Yeah. So like so I mean, do I look?
No, I mean, it's got like sort of feminine.
It's weird hearing it from the other angle, because like if a guy be like, I lift heavy, but they don't appear that they lift heavy, it's kind of a bad thing. But for you, it's a good thing. You worked out to lift heavy, but not look like you got like loads of muscles.
Yeah, it's like that being strong.
It's a weird way of hearing it.
Yeah,
I mean, you got arms like bone rabbits.
Yeah.
Like,
That's all.
Look at this.
That's genetic.
Well, do the comparison.
No.
You go in the back. Yeah, you're not the one that's getting embarrassed.
I have to avoid training my arms.
Really?
Yeah.
You avoid training arms.
Yeah, times.
Why?
Because it gets too big. I get really. I put a muscle quite easily. So
it's hard to be heavy.
Yeah.
You've got that body type that just it can gain.
So there's times I would only do cardio just because I don't want. Like for example, we're going to a wedding in a few weeks, and I want to fit into my suit.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm not lifting really heavy at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm doing more cardio.
Okay.
I'm just going to show up and then hope that like I don't have to like unbutton my waistcoat. And I had to walk around doing the Mumford & Sons things, because as soon as I have a beer, it's going to pop. Like it's not even. It's just Anyway, my allergy to gluten aside, but like How you're working out for this?
Sort of, just running and stuff.
Well, for the wedding that's coming up.
Yeah.
It's on like the 25th, and today, for the record, is the 11th of May. And yeah, we've got.
Well, he wants to look good, obviously.
He's going to look good. I just feel like I've underdone it now. I've had all this time on my hands, and there's me. I just played a video game all week. I was having a bit of a sad week, so I was like, I'm going to play a video game. But yeah, anyway, sorry. Look, we've gone off topic. Off point. High five. You can have a high five too. Okay, right. So going back to, so you went from the gym, and then what? So you went.
You know what I like? The fact we've spoken so much, you still remember where we last left off.
Yeah,
you know, that's really good.
I have to, otherwise get in trouble with the missus.
That's why we cut down on the drinking, because there were times we when we were drinking one time and we forget where we were, and then we just going all over the place.
Oh my god, it was an editorial nightmare. And the guy was pingy like me as well, so we were just bouncing off each other, getting pissed. And the guy's like, I mean, it took us half an hour to get back to one of the stories, and it wasn't just him, it was me. Yeah. I felt terrible. This is why I'm only having one. Mm-hmm. And because I'm driving. I am actually. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. So after fitness, that's the very first thing that helped with my confidence. Then is actually leaving my 9-year relationship.
Holy fuck, 9 years.
Listen, you know when
that's longer than school.
You know when they say you start if someone starts glowing as soon as you leave that relationship, that means that person was the problem. I'm telling you, as soon as I left the relationship, I'm not being, without being sounding big-headed, I was on fire.
Oh,
my style, the way I was dressed was changed. To be honest, basically I would suppress my personality for my ex. He didn't like the fact that I was so friendly and bubbly, was happy. He was a bit of a... He was quite miserable, basically. But anyway, so after I left him, I decided I want to wear whatever I want now. Because he didn't like it when... One time he said to me, I was looking on Pretty Little Thing, looking at dresses, and he goes to me, why do you always look at bodycon dresses, figure-hugging dresses?
But they're hot.
Yeah, and he was like...
Jumper dress is, like, sexy as fuck. I'm just going to put it out there. My favourite type. Like,
jumper dress?
Yeah, like, like when they get all, like, sort of... And it's, like, hug the figure. And
bodycon dresses,
like, that's all I can do, not just...
Yeah, and then he goes to me, are you that insecure? You're trying to get attention?
That's not insecure.
And I was like... And at the time, I actually questioned myself. I was like, am I really insecure?
Why would you say that to a girl?
Anyway. Were you dressing like that when you met him?
Yeah, I was kind of dressing up like that.
You, and then after a while he's like, all right, stick on a hijab or something. Sorry, is that too far? I don't know if we're allowed to say that. Am I allowed to say? It's my podcast, fuck it. Yeah, like, okay, go on. Okay, so it's more like, like less...
No, I'm always under the impression that if you meet somebody and this is how they dress,
you should accept it.
Yeah. I mean, my missus is
he didn't meet me with, like, wearing dresses. He did meet me where I was wearing, like, tight jeans, still tight top.
But
I remember in the beginning he did say to me, you don't always have to dress up, you can just be more casual.
But it's nice,
so because of that, I sort of like decided, okay, you know what, maybe I can be more casual.
That sounds kind of nice as well, the way.
Yeah,
in a way.
But then afterwards I guess he was just projecting his insecurity into me. Anyway, so that was that. So after I left him, I decided I'm going to wear whatever I like. And then I started going out more. I was like as if I got released out of prison.
Wow.
I was like going out every single weekend. Like summertime was like literally out, like partying with my best friend, all of that, and going carnival and things like that.
Oh, that's great. Were you not doing that with him? Like, like going out and stuff?
No, he didn't like
you
going
just wanted
out.
to stay in? Oh, that's the worst, because you want to have a good, like, Friday night is staying in night.
If I went out
Saturday, let's go out.
Yeah.
Fun.
If I went out with him, if we went clubbing together,
Sleep. Okay.
If we went out together clubbing, he would be there like a bouncer.
Oh fuck!
He would just stand there, like just looking around.
That's toxic masculinity there, because it's like,
he
was anxious because of the environment, or was he just trying to make sure that no guy looked at you and then start a fight?
I don't know. Maybe both, but yeah, and that, So he was just. I don't want to say he's all bad, because he obviously
you wouldn't fall in love with someone who was all bad,
and plus he introduced me to fitness. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of thing that I had to suppress my personality for him. I did my life for him.
So you don't have a red one.
Emotional.
Sorry, couldn't help it. I was watching something about. Never mind. My YouTube wanderings have been quite something this week, and I'm like, So I was looking up. Yeah, but I wasn't looking up prostitutes. Jesus Christ, every time. Sorry.
Are you sure?
Ironically, actually, I met my girlfriend. She's an Eastern European girl who happened to have just moved into my area, and I told my mum that. I was like, yeah, this is really hot Eastern European girl that just moved into our area, and now she wants to go on a date with me. And my mum was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "It turns out she's absolutely lovely." But yeah, go on. Sorry. I love that joke. I wrote it the other day.
Are you a comedian?
I wish. No, I don't have the balls. I've written like all the scripts and stuff, but
You've done one gig.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How long did you last?
I lasted 5 minutes. I actually got the best laugh of the night, actually. It was my first go, and yeah, I mean, I want to do it. I do, but I've always been, it's one of those things I'm always a bit frightened about. I don't know, there's that block.
Just do it.
I've done everything. I'm really, people keep telling me I should, but it's that little part of my back of my head. I'm not scared of it. Yeah. I'm not scared to get on stage. It's more the admin. It's more, I don't want to book gigs in advance because I don't have a sense of time, anything that goes further than 3 months ahead. Like, I won't book flights, for example. Like, our mate Stu's had to do it for me. Not because I'm incapable of doing it, but it's one of those things where it's like, I can't imagine more than 3 weeks ahead, and that's how I do my diary kind of.
You've travelled the world, you lived in abroad. How have you not planned ahead?
My mum is a saint. I did, but a lot of it is, because my mum would always book our holidays, and that's kind of like, so I didn't actually book my first flight until I was about, 18, 19? Didn't have to, because my mum would be like, oh, I'll find a deal. And then she'd be there for 2 hours.
Well, you lived in like Indonesia and all that.
Oh, yeah, I did that.
Really?
Yeah,
for how long?
3 years.
Oh, for?
Between 20, when I was 24, 23, I went out when I was 23, I came back on the eve of Brexit. So, I would have been about 26 at that point, and it was amazing. In fact, I was just chatting, I've got a friend of mine coming over from Indo at the end of next month, and I'm really excited. She's one of the other teachers, and she was like vicious.
What's she doing out there? Teaching?
She's a teacher. I was teaching English. It's a foreign language, but realistically, I just wanted to get away from a very toxic relationship, and the girl wouldn't leave me alone. So I needed a complete change of scenery because it was a lot of drama and it was too much.
Country.
So I went to the other side of the world. I completely changed my environment. I was the only white guy for about a square. I think it was about 10 white guys per square mile.
Oh, they must have loved you there, innit?
Oh, yeah, they really liked us.
Did they take pictures of you?
Yeah. It was great fun. It was like, I was actually loving it. I mean, I used to do the ego walk. I think I've talked about this before on the podcast, but the ego walk was where we would go through a strip mall to get to, there was like a little flea market kind of area, and they had all these little stalls. Yeah. And as I'd walk along, they were quite shy. Like, these girls were all quite shy, and and they would like lean out and go, "You handsome mister," and then hide again, and then hide again. And so as you walk down this row, you just hear all these little compliments, and I tell you what, every time I had a bad day at work, I'd walk through there, and it was just the nicest feeling, because you come out and be like, I am valuable, and and then you go home, and your mate gives you a beer, and it's like, today was a good day after all. And it's just it's little things like that. But sometimes some of the guys didn't like being stared at all the time, but at the end of the day, and admittedly, I did miss pork, bacon, wine.
It's no country in it.
Yeah, and they made it. And one of the reasons I left was because they started banning beer and condoms. Actually, they banned condoms.
What?
It's religious. It's the most Muslim country in the world by populace, and the political system is very much like we used to have in the old days, like in the Tudor times, where the church has a lot of power. Right. So if the imam would basically say, politicians would bribe the imam would say, okay, you bribe me 100 million, for example, which is about 10 grand. And I will, I will make sure that the congregation vote for you. But then this other guy gave him 105 million. So the bloke lost. So the politician my friend knew lost the 100 million anyway. And then the imam just raked him both. So 100 million from one and 105 from the other guy, and the other guy gets the vote from the entire congregation. Therefore, he became the senior politician, which was quite something. He won the election. I'm not saying like a general election, but that's kind of corruption that goes on. But if the imams and stuff have all the rules, they can then, it's not Sharia law or anything extreme. It is in Aceh, which is in the north, but in general, there was a lot of religious influence on things, and I think they were kind of keen to keep that Islamic culture within themselves, which is great, and I do envy them their religion in many regards. But there were some decisions made that were a bit stupid. Like on a motorbike, you could go with like a little religious hat. If you had a helmet, if you didn't wear a helmet, that was against the law. But if you were wearing their little religious hat or hijab, then the assumption was that God was going to protect you.
Oh my God!
So therefore, you'd end up with lots of road deaths because there's a lot of all the school and everyone's on little motorbikes. They're all on little mopeds. I used to have one as well, and they drive like they're driving out there. You never go beyond 40 miles an hour because it's. Sorry, I'm rambling now, but it's
you've gone off point.
Yeah. Oh god,
I've gone off point.
Oh no. Right, we were talking about you. You're the subject, not me. Fuck. Done it again, Marlon. I've done it again. But yeah, beautiful country. Miss it very much. But yeah, I used to be a teacher, and it's the answer. I think to the question that I asked myself. Anyway, where were we with your story? So we can just cut all of that shit. Like what we say? Oh yeah, so you went from this 9-year relationship to this, and then you kind of found that you were a bit more lively. And because you said before though that like that female empowerment isn't just about going out. Like after like breakup, but actually kind of that more the gravity behind like learning yourself and kind of doing the work, so to speak. What was that work like for you?
Well, to be honest, I never grieved the fact that I left this 9-year relationship because do you know what it is? With women, we are already mentally prepared to leave the guy like months before.
My girlfriend's already in that position.
I actually was ready like about about 3 months, not 6 months, 3 months prior to the breakup. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm done. Like. Yeah. He's not making any effort anymore. It's just long. We've been back and forth about this. He's not. He's gone. We always go back to square one after I complain. Blah blah. Anyway, but you know what it is? I'll admit this is because I started working at a gym. I started working full time at a gym as a PT, and I started getting more attention at the gym. And I'm thinking, why is my man not giving me the attention these guys are giving me attention? Although I do make it clear that I have a man. And so. I was just like, anyway, so I did make it clear to these people, like, always mention my boyfriend, like, not saying, my boyfriend. I do mention, like, bring up my boyfriend, like, that, boyfriend at the time, saying, that, blah, 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 so they know what I'm taking.
You lay down that, I'm happy with this guy. Like,
but eventually there was this guy there that giving me more attention like that, and then I started fancying him. Oh, no. And then one time
did you tell your boyfriend not to worry about him?
No, but he does not know anything about him. Ooh. Anyway, so
he does now.
If you watched, and then this guy basically was like always coming and chat to me, asked me to go lunch with him, blah blah, and I was like, okay, I accepted it. So anyway, and eventually he asked me about my situation. I was like, you know what, listen, I'm gonna lie, I've got a boyfriend, blah blah. And he goes, okay, cool, but now this is where the red flag is. He did not care.
That's a flag.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
A big flag. If he doesn't have the respect for you, because you've set down a boundary by saying that I'm, I don't want you to go over the friendship mark, and he's like, cool, and keeps going for it.
Yeah, and then
everyone hates those. And
then you know what? But then I gave in, and I cheated on him.
Oh wow!
With him.
Well, that was a big admission.
Yeah.
Does he know that?
Oh, he doesn't.
Oh wow!
I think he might have.
We're gonna have some edits to make.
He might have assumed, but he never. But I didn't use that as an excuse. But anyway. So yeah, I cheated on him with this guy.
Did you break up with your boyfriend shortly afterwards?
Oh, straight away.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah,
because you know what it is, because part of me like
at the time I wanted to cheat on them, or like if in your mind you're just like, actually this is a better option.
No, not even that. It was more like, okay. So when I had sex with that guy, I did not think we was going to do that. Basically, what happened was...
it just happened.
So, but yeah, my boyfriend at the time was... He works on the weekend. He used to work as a bouncer. So I know he's because we used to live together. I know he won't be home until like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m.
This other lad is playing with fire.
Yeah, so then this other guy said, I was like, oh, do you want to hang out on Friday? Because maybe go for a smoke or something like that. And then and he goes, yeah, sure. And what did he do? He booked a hotel. And I was like, okay,
that's obviously going to be leading
so I thought he booked a hotel just for us to chill and have a smoke in it.
Come on.
Listen. Come on. I know. Listen. Anyway, so then
you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Back then I was a proper like innocent, like naive. Anyway.
So how old were you?
He booked a hotel.
You know what? This is even embarrassing to tell how old I was at the time. I was 30.
Okay.
Oh, that's all right.
No, but this is not the embarrassing.
But you've been in a relationship for 9 years.
No, but exactly. So, but this guy I was dealing with.
Don't tell me he was his best mate.
He was 7 years younger than me.
I think that's 17.
First you missed cheating, now we're going to have some fucking
He was 7 years younger than me. Anyway, so he was 24 and I was 30. But anyway.
That's fine.
Yeah, but...
I mean, the girl was about 6 years older than me.
Yeah, but no, but the thing is that for me, I was ashamed because at the time, like...
Kitty fiddler. Snatcher.
No, not even that. A woman in the 30s, what's she doing with... First of all...
Toy boy, come on.
No, but like the fact that he's read... all the like everything that's wrong with him.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so then I went to a hotel. Now, set up everything so the smoke alarm would go off, went to the toilet.
Came out, candles, a little bit of rose petals.
Smoke alarm?
Yeah, he's done it before.
Yeah, uni was a good
idea. Exactly.
Yeah, we used to, everyone suddenly buying those big camping socks.
Yeah, and so then, we smoked, and then because I haven't smoked in such a long time. In fact, no, at the time I didn't really smoke, so that's why I wasn't used to it. And he made it so strong.
I would never let anyone else.
I was
never let someone else.
Yeah, and I was like, and then he goes, "Oh,
it feels like he's kind of taking advantage of you, though. If you
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Wasted.
So then, and then we had sex that day, and then afterwards, we didn't say overnight. I was like to him, I was like, "What the fuck, man?" I was like, "We need to go home."
So I need to were you living with your ex then?
Mm-hmm. Because I said to you, I said to you, I know what time he'll be home because he works as a bouncer. So anyway, so then
I feel sorry for him now a little bit.
But
poor guy,
you know, this is the first time I'm actually sharing this on public.
Exclusive.
Told you we get to you.
But, I mean, as in, I share it with my friends, but not like public like this. But I was going to share it anyway on my podcast. But anyway, so then so now I was like, I need to go home right now. This is like 3 a.m. He goes, "What? You gonna stay over?" I'm like, "No, I need to fucking go home." Like,
TikTok, motherfucker.
Yeah, and then
also make me a tea, with a lot of sugar in it.
Yeah, obviously with just sex, I gave in it at the time. At first I was like, no, but now I was like, you know what, fuck this, man, I'm gonna do this. Anyway, so then got home. The way I drove home, whilst being so high. No, listen. The concentration was on a different level. I got home and I was thinking, in my head, I was thinking, please make sure, please don't be at home yet. And he wasn't at home.
I'd be more concerned about the police.
Yeah, I don't think I was driving reckless, but I don't know anyway.
No, okay, yeah.
And then, yeah.
Fred, though, I feel like weed makes you concentrate a bit more.
Oh, and alcohol.
Yeah.
I drink drive all the time, man.
You might not.
I don't.
I drink drive all the time.
You should not admit that.
No, like
I'm with you with the weed,
but there's a reason why I'm not wearing my motorbike.
There weren't when alcohol.
I accidentally drove stoned once, and I mean accidentally because I was in a. I went to go and pick up, and the guy started smoking. But I'm a lightweight with that shit, so I got a second-hand fume.
You are like.
I got outside. Yeah, I could literally. Yeah, I'm used to. I'd be like 2 tokes done, and but with that's back in the day, long time ago. Mother. And anyway, so yeah, just in case she ever listens to this. But no, it's with that, it was just like I was on my motorbike. I was going home afterwards, and because the fresh, cold air hit me, I'll tell you what, it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was only like country roads that I knew, but it was just like I was going along like, it was a great time. But yeah, I wouldn't do it ever again. I've never done it since. But yeah, go on. Sorry, yeah.
But yeah, and then when I got home, he wasn't there, so then went straight to bed. And then afterwards, 2 days and. The thing is, because by that time, our relationship was like, we weren't really intimate anymore.
Oh, that's hard.
And we were having sex like once a month.
Oh, God.
So the reason I'm telling this is because he gave me a hickey.
Oh, fuck.
And I was like, what the fuck?
How are you going to deal with that?
Yeah, so anyways, I was thinking,
you can't wear a turtleneck to bed.
No.
Cover it with makeup or something.
No, yeah. Well, did I do that comment? But I had my hair down. But because we were, as I said, we weren't really intimate anymore, affection. Sometimes we couldn't like wake up and not kiss, not even hug. So he didn't really, he wouldn't really see it. So, and plus that Saturday, usually Saturday, I'll go home to see my parents.
Yeah.
So that's me spending the night at my parents. So then he didn't see it. And then was it Sunday or Monday? I made an excuse to come up with some excuse and just to break up with him.
Break up with him, like?
I can't remember, but I just...
Not you, it's me.
No, nothing at all. I just said I'm not happy.
Fair enough.
Went back to that, basically the same topic. I wasn't though. Went back to the same topic that I've always brought up to him. Was like, I'm not happy. Like, you're still... we spoke about this. You're doing the same thing, blah, blah. And he goes... And then we just had an argument at night, and as well, I'm going to go home. And went home that night, and I made my mind up. You know what? I cannot go back. Yeah, go back with him. Also, because I had sex with this guy. I know this is going to sound. Some people probably going to bash me for contradicting myself because I believe in energy, and the fact that I slept with that guy, I can't be. Like bringing his energy to my body at the time.
You believe when you sleep with somebody that you take on their energy.
Yeah, that, and also because at the same time I know he was my man, and I do love him. And as much as I cheat on him, I don't want to do that to him. So I was like, you know what, I have to make an excuse and just break up with him. And then
did he accept it? Because like 9 years is a long time to just walk away from a relationship.
He did at first, because the way I basically after we had an argument that night, I went home, and then I decided in the morning I'm gonna go to his in the morning because I know what time he goes to work, get all my stuff. Drove to his and get all my stuff, and on my way back home he actually messaged me and was like, babes, I'm like really sorry, blah blah. And I was like, it's too late, I've moved out. Wow. And he goes like, what, already? I'm like, yeah, I've made my mind up. And he knows if I made my mind up, that's it, there's no going back. And then And
they were trying to win you back, or
he did at first, but then
if it's done, it's done.
Yeah, so then we met up. We met up because I had to give him his house keys back and things like that. We had a little chat in the pub enclosure, and he goes,
it's nice to have that chat.
Yeah, and he goes to me that he understands why I need to leave because he, I've missed a bit. He's 15 years older than me.
Fucking hell.
And
he's 45 and you're 30.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And so I met him when I just turned 22, and he's 37.
Okay. Oh wow, that's quite a gap.
Yeah, and then he goes that I understand because even my uncle, I told my uncle, and my uncle was like, you know what, like she's been with you in all her 20s, and she has not really experienced life, and and she's basically outgrown you, blah blah blah, whatever. And he said he understood.
Sorry to interrupt there. Was like marriage ever a consideration in your head?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Did you ever ring on it?
Now listen, ladies, this is for you, ladies. If a man, correct me if I'm wrong as well.
Yeah, we will.
I really believe that if a man knows that woman is the one, he will not drag for that long. Because
my dad proposed after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He said no for 6 years until the Filipino girl started liking him when they were out there. So, yeah.
Because we did say, we're going to get engaged. He always says, I'm going to propose to him. We should get engaged. I was like, okay, cool. He's been saying that for 4 years. Nothing. 4 years. Yeah, nothing.
You can't drag.
And then I was just like, but at the time I was just like, oh man, he's because of financially he's not ready. But now, my mindset now, thinking now, and also what I've learned as well, what I've seen, if a man wants to marry, he will marry you, not dragging you. Say, it's not ready. He doesn't. He has no intention to marry you. Just put it this way.
I think I was with my wife for about 3 years, and I proposed on that on our third anniversary.
Yeah,
2 or 3. I think for me though, I'd want to live with them first. Because you never know someone to
that's
really
what I
live
did
with
as
them.
well.
Yeah.
So we were together for 2 years, then we moved in with each other.
Yeah.
Third year we got engaged.
Yeah,
that sounds
cool.
Get married.
Yeah, because it's like when you realise that they are part of your life and that's kind of how you want to live.
Yeah,
you're happy there. It's quite a big thing.
And I think also I say to the girls is that if a man says to you, he's not ready to commit or he's not ready for anything, believe him.
Yeah,
believe him. Like, don't be thinking, I can change him. No, it is not true. A man most men will actually tell you the truth, like how they are. Like, just believe them. Don't be trying to stay there, trying to be the fixer or the healer, or even be like.
It does come across as controlling sometimes when people are trying to fix everything about you. Like, one of the issues that I had with somebody was that with an ex was that that it makes you feel like you're not good enough because there's always a little something, and you're just like, this is more. It starts to feel like they're more controlling. It's more about control of them trying to control you or whatever, and that's a huge turn off, obviously. But, but you can't. I mean, I think you can support someone, but you shouldn't try and fix them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also with the ladies, you need to value yourself, know what you want. If you don't be settling for good enough. Same with men, obviously. Don't be settling for good enough. If that person's not giving you what you want, and that is, for example, like marriage is definitely something you really want, and that man said, you know what, I love you, I'll commit to you, but I don't want to get married. But if you want to get married, then you need to think about it. Don't be settling for good enough.
Go over to Vegas, have a bit of a laugh. Definitely sign a prenup. Because I reckon, I think there's
to jump in there. So, what you were together for 9 years? What point in that relationship did you want to get married? Was it like in the halfway?
Halfway, yeah. Like, I actually thought he was the one. He was. We've been together because we've been together for so long. Also for so long. Also because he was very like. But at the time, I felt he was very manly. Like, he made me feel safe and all of that. That being said, obviously there were ups and downs. Like I said, the insecurities that he projected on me, where I did my life for him and all of that, my personality. But
sounds quite oppressive, but quite insidiously.
Was he married before?
No,
by any chance?
He wasn't. I can't even give you some juice about him as well.
Ooh.
So after breaking up with him, 10 months later, a woman DM'd me on Instagram saying, "Hey, this is Dean's baby mother. Can you please tell him to get in touch with me, please, because his son needs to speak to him."
That's 10 months after you split.
Yeah, and I was like...
He knocked a girl up within a month.
You had no idea.
How old was the baby?
The son
Does that mean he was cheating on you?
No, the son is 21 years old at the time, so basically he was 10 years younger. So basically he had a son all along while we were together. But
you didn't know?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, cheating's off the table now. That's you can't get away with that one.
That's
like some...
For 9 years, he kept his son secret.
Yeah,
he didn't talk about it.
He didn't talk about it. And I was like...
What?
And someone was like...
He's paying alimony. Surely he's paying for
Probably
this
not.
kid. Wow.
I was like, what the fuck? And then I tell you, basically, his story was that he knew about him. But basically, when the son was 10 years old, he wanted a paternity test.
Right.
And but the mum refused it. And the mum was like, what? How dare you to ask for a DNA test, blah, blah. And then, no way, you cannot have a DNA test. This is your son. Can you not see how much he looks like you? Da, da, da.
Weird.
That's weird. That's
and then
suspicious.
because she refused to, she refused it, and then
I cut off the payments as well.
and he decided to not see him anymore. So anyway, that's what he told me. That's what he told me.
Yeah. But if she's refusing,
so you got in contact with him after that, then?
Yeah, because I wanted to know what the fuck this is all about. And why I believed her, because she said, at first I was thinking she was chatting shit, and then she was like, "How do you know if you tell me the truth or not?" And she goes, and she just sent me a picture of his son. Looks exactly like him.
Wow.
Ooh.
And I was just like,
well, why wouldn't you go for a pat?
So how did she track you down?
How much is the pack?
Exactly. I asked her, I was like, how did you find me? She goes, well, just, some family members told me about you. I was like,
the family knew about this kid as well, and no one told you ever in 9 years.
Yeah, but he wasn't really close with his family. That's the thing. I only know his uncle and his sister, his niece and nephew, but we weren't close. I wasn't close with them anyway because he didn't have a good relationship with his family. But anyway,
that, I mean, that sounds like a shit show.
Yeah, but yeah, so that was what I found out after 10 months later. So
that's crazy.
That is crazy, right? Like some EastEnders shit.
That is EastEnders shit. I mean, I had an ex that refused. I mean, I've had some dodgy exes, but I think one of them tried to sue me, actually. Two of them tried to get me arrested. One of them tried to sue... Yeah, no, nothing breaks like a... hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. But I mean, obviously, I've got clean records and everything. But the point is that, it's amazing what happens after a breakup, or you find out, and how you realise who this person actually is when you kind of because I'm quite a strong believer in that you can love someone for who they are in a relationship, and then afterwards you see them as a person. If you still love who that person is, you'll never unlove someone. This is what I was telling my girlfriend this morning. It's like you'll never unlove someone, but you can understand why they're not the right person for you.
I would say,
I still have a chat with some of my exes sometimes.
Yeah,
they're lovely people.
Yeah, I don't hate him. I would say I still have love for him. I care about him because I know what kind of person he is. Sometimes I do think, I wonder how he is right now, sort of thing. Yeah. But not that I would reach out to him. Hey, I did that. But
so you have no contact with him at the moment?
No, because he.
Takes a few years.
After almost a year later, he, when you go through the breakup, you go through different phases. He went through that angry phase. Yeah, when he got to the angry phase, he was like cussing me out, calling me a hoe, all of that, calling me gym slag, that. Yeah, because I work in a gym, innit?
Did he find out that you'd slept someone else at that point, perhaps, if he started going around? I'm not saying that he's right at all.
Yeah.
But
you never told him.
Because that would make a bit more sense if someone told him that, you'd slept with somebody at the gym, and that's why he'd probably be calling you that. But I don't think that's justifying anything.
No, but yeah, and then this is where probably some people are going to think this. It's karma. It is karma. So basically, the guy that I cheated on with.
Maybe he cheated on you as well.
He was a fuckboy, basically, and he was a roadman, and which I knew, and because I was shotting with him and everything I was driving around, selling drugs. Yeah, and
we should probably added that bit as well. Okay, right. Yeah. We don't want to incriminate you. Yeah, it's like ladies and the evidence.
Yeah.
Banging podcast.
Yeah, and a lot of things. A lot of things.
And if you're a lawyer, fuck off.
A lot of things happened. When there's people say, when you surround yourself, when you're around people with dark energy, you attract negative stuff into your life.
Oh, I totally
and
get
that is what happened with me with this guy that I was dealing with. I've been driving since the age of 18. I've only had one car accident because when I first passed, right. I mean, since then, I've never had a car accident, right? Touch wood, is there wood?
No, it's not. I mean, this is laminate.
This is what
I
anyway,
feel like just touch your head. Yeah, that's what my friend does. I'm like, mate, come on, you got a brain.
I had 2 car accidents when I was seeing this guy.
Right.
He even...
In 9 years, though, that's reasonable.
Yeah, but thing is, why is it all of a sudden with him? Do you know what I mean? Like,
while he's in the car with you?
He was driving my car.
He was driving your car and then he had an accident. It's probably,
but it wasn't even his fault. It was someone driving into him. Both times of driving into. That's what I mean, like you attract negative stuff.
That's not necessarily his energy, though. It's more the fact that he was a bad driver.
No, it wasn't. He was just driving. Both times he wasn't even driving recklessly. It's nothing like that.
So maybe it was just coincidence, or was it just like because you've got this feeling?
I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in energy. I believe that's what he attracted put into my life, because that's not it. There's more to it.
Go.
He's been arrested by police. I had to go pick him up at a police station.
Jesus.
We've been chased by the police before. My car got
by the cops.
Yeah, my car got stopped and searched by police. We were just parked up, just there, and then police van with like 6 police.
Holy fuck.
Came out and just searched things like that. So this is what I mean. Like we started.
Were they just searching everyone in that car park, or was it just your vehicle particularly? That means he must have been marked for something.
Anyway, so why would I was telling you this anyway?
We were talking about.
Even I've got off point.
High five. See, I told you it was fun. Yeah, your one was much more structured. That's like we're just sitting there like fascinated.
What was I saying? Telling this.
So you were saying about
So basically dealing with him.
Yes, that's
obviously adding to my experience about knowing.
That's quite a lot of experience. I mean, that's a lot of dark end. I mean, drug dealing, all that other. Sorry, not drug dealing. Sorry.
And he
handling pets,
knowing that he is a fuckboy, meaning like he was.
This is the second guy. Sorry, I thought we're not talking about the 9-year guy. We're talking about the next guy,
the guy that I've cheated with. Sorry.
So the guy, the 24-year-old fuckboy.
Yeah,
he's the one who got you written off twice.
Yeah.
And how long were you with him for?
A year.
Oh, in a year. I thought you meant sorry, because before I was like asking. I was thinking before I was like, well, 2 crashes in 9 years is okay.
No. Like as soon as I started seeing this.
Oh, that is
guy,
okay. That does make sense. Sorry, I beg your pardon. I completely missed that.
As soon as I started seeing him.
Yeah.
All these madness started happening.
That's not good. Yeah, you're right about the energy thing. Man. I'm sorry, that's why I was doubting it. I was a bit like 9 years seems a bit, that seemed like a coincidence. But in 1 year, 2 crashes in 1 year.
Both cars got written off.
Fucking hell!
I know, and I was literally playing with my life at the time.
Yeah.
My best friend was so worried about me. She used to at one point she was calling me every single day to make sure I was okay because she knew what I was dealing with.
Jesus.
And she was like, and she did say to me, "So what are you doing, Celia? Like, just do you not?"
Well, you always go for the bad boy after. You go for the stable one, the nice, stable, boring one, and then you go. I had the opposite. I went from like the chaotic one to. Some very demure, very logical, very sort of like, like they got their shit together. I actually went out with a surgeon at one point, and I was just like, yeah, I know, right? I like clever girls. But yeah, and also, if you're going to spend the rest of your life potentially banging someone's brains out, you might as well go for a challenge. Yeah. She's smart, but she's a bit too smart. Actually, no, she isn't. She's lovely. But anyway, I digress. Sorry, you were saying about bad energy vibes and because like the fuckboy thing, and then
and also he sometimes he would even say say certain things to make me jealous, purposely make me jealous and insecure.
Oh, shitty.
Say things like, you're the main chick, don't worry, you're the main chick. I just have
chick?
Yeah, I have some side piece of that. And
he's got side pieces after 2 years?
He would say things like that to me.
What cunt?
And then, and at the time I was just like, for some reason, I like it made me feel good that, I'm the main chick.
I'm the main chick.
Right?
But he's banging other girls.
I wondered how people get away with that.
Yeah, how do you get away
but the
with
thing
that?
is, because it's like a power thing, like, I'm the main chick, so at least he always come back to me. That is that kind of mentality.
Oh, you must have been feeling very insecure at that point.
Yeah, yeah. So after that, so moving forward now.
Imagine if like Elena turned around one day and was like, "Yeah, you're my main piece." I'd be like, "Well, you've got a broken neck. What?" It's like, "Oh look, there's some stairs." I mean, at that point, I think I'd be like, "Oh wow, I don't even know what I'd say." I've got a sharp tongue on me anyway. I think I'd probably psychologically destroy her and not feel bad about it, but I wouldn't do that on purpose to anybody. But anyway, sorry, I digress. So side chick thing.
Yeah, so I want to add to that, girls. So at the time, I did not value myself. Obviously, I was so insecure. The fact that I would accept him saying, "You're the main chick," that is not a compliment, okay, girls? That is not a compliment. Value yourself, love yourself, and respect yourself.
How big was his dick that he wanted that he got away with that?
I was dickmatized.
Dickmatized. I love that. I've never heard that one either. This is great.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe I'm too sorry for this. It's like you've been cockmatized. I think you find his penis. Penisatized.
That's a thing.
Penisatized. All right, I'm having a lot of fun here. Yeah. God bless the second glass of wine. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, so basically, ladies, like, value yourself. Like, if you guys...
Fair, let me jump in quickly. So you went from your 9-year relationship and you was actually in a relationship with this person from your gym.
I was seeing him, basically.
You're seeing him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like 2
and
years.
you're one of his...
Someone.
No, 1 year.
Yeah. 1 year, beg your pardon. Sorry, you said.
And you were one of many
down.
girls, you're saying.
Well, at the time, I didn't know that. I believed that I was the only one. And I do believe I was the main chick.
Right.
And he did probably have other sightings, but
Why
for
did
me...
he tell you that you were his side chick, though?
No, he didn't say
any
that.
sense.
No, he said I was his main chick.
Yeah, but why would he tell you that you were his side chick?
I don't know, because... I don't know, that's what I'm saying.
I'm sure all of them are the main chick.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why would he say things like that just try to make me feel insecure or something like that? But anyway, or maybe he think that would make me feel special. But anyway, my point is... my point is, reason why... I forgot what I was going to say that.
About how, like, if you feel... Because you said it was linked to you having self-esteem.
Yeah. But there's another thing I was going to say. But yeah, anyway. But, reason why I didn't mind it because I think, I know he will come back to me. But at the same time, why I believe I was probably the main chick, because whenever he was in trouble, or maybe let's say, for example, that time when he got arrested by the police, he was at the police station, he always called me, come pick me up, please.
Yeah, you're reliable.
Yeah, or maybe like we go shotting together basically and be the one, or wherever he is, can you come pick me up? I'll always be the one there for him, sort of thing.
But maybe you the one with the car.
Yeah, maybe that's yeah.
Also maybe.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to
or the one that would actually come.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Reliable,
yeah. So this is what I believed at the time. I was thinking,
you had his back, and he clearly didn't have yours.
Yeah. So that was me back then. But anyway, but a year later, COVID had lockdown.
Oh, well, that's lots of fun.
I think I remember it was around May. I decided, you know what, I cannot do this anymore. Like something I just woke up, was like, that's it, I'm done.
One more call from the police.
I cannot do this to myself. I'm playing for my life. What am I doing? Because I actually had anxiety at one point.
That's hard.
So why were you shotting? Was it just because of him, or you needed money?
No, he was doing it.
He just broke you in.
No, she was driving.
I was driving for him, like that, and do the house. He was with his boys and all that. So
he comes out. He's just like drive down the road, stop. You're not actually doing anything wrong. Just giving a guy a lift. You're not sure what he's doing.
Yeah. Did I know he was doing it at the time? No, I didn't. It's only after like 3 months in, I said, like, why are you always up at this time or da-da-da-da-da. Anyway.
I mean, I tell you what, they do have a great service, though. I mean, drug dealers, they were the Uber before Uber existed. You make a phone call, 20 minutes later, boom, I got you.
I actually disagree with that. I've had like some really bad dealers where like, I'm like, I want to pick up in like half an hour, and they're like, yeah, half an hour, then half an hour comes, nothing.
Yeah, I'm on my way, but I'm probably still at home having their dinner or something, innit?
Yeah, just like, sorry, mum, I've got to go.
I swear, one time it took me like a day and a half just to get
A day and a half?
Yeah. By then you just don't want to. It's like, fuck it, it's too much effort. It's ironic.
But yeah, so then after
That's customer service, though, usually. I mean, half an hour is customer service. Yeah. Like, the ambulance won't get to you in that time.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah. And then left him, decided, you know what, I'm done, like...
Did he try and track you down or ever or anything creepy? Sorry,
it took 6 months for him to actually leave me alone.
Yeah, he doesn't understand boundaries.
He keeps coming back, and he was like, "Oh, come on, babes," like trying to FaceTime me. Don't get me wrong. In the beginning, I was addicted to his toxic energy. So when he FaceTime me, I would answer it, and I would start talking to him, blah blah. But then he would start doing the same thing again, like putting me on edge again. And I was just like, "Oh, you know what, I'm done." And then he keeps calling me on different numbers, private numbers.
That's creepy as fuck.
And
you can actually do him for that.
Yeah, and then
as long as you've told him to leave you alone, no uncertain words, and then written it down and said, like, I should leave me alone, leave me alone, and he keeps calling you, you can do him for it.
I was embarrassed about it. I didn't want people to know about it. You know what I mean? Because because the gym I was working at, he used to come to that gym, but he got banned from it, right?
What, because of your situation with him?
No, and there was another situation. That's what I mean. He's troublesome, innit? Anyway, so then his brother also goes to that gym, and his brother, I saw his brother, and I just to give you the screw face, innit? And then his brother used to come to me. I was like, "Why?" He goes, "Can I speak to you?" I was like, "Yeah."
Oh, I hate
and he goes, "Why are you always giving me a screw face? Do you know, like, what happened between you and your brother? It's nothing to do with me. Why are you giving me a screw face?" And I just looked at him like, and he's like, "You know, you can talk to me." I'm like, "I'm thinking about what?" And he goes, "I can give you advice." I was like, "What advice?" And he goes, "My brother is actually stressed at home. Like, just stay away from him. Like,
that's what you were doing anyway."
Yeah, and but he didn't know at the time, I think. But anyway, he goes to me. Like, if I said, "Your brother won't leave me alone." He goes, "Well, if he calls you again, call the feds on him." And I was like, in my head I was thinking,
such a
on your brother. Like, anyway, because like he's a stress at home. That when I first saw him talking to you, I told him to leave you alone. But anyway.
That's weird.
So why would you say to have your own brother arrested? I mean, that causes all sorts of pain for the
really weird.
There must be a bad relationship in it. But anyway, so took him 6 months for him to really leave me alone. And from that's when I started my self-love journey.
I mean, that is quite a platform for it.
Like I was,
because you've been treated like shit.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it? How many years?
What, the self-love? Yeah, listen, the self-love since 2020. Yeah, but this self-love journey, when I say journey, there is not a destination. There's no stopping. You're always forever growing. Mindset. But it's just whether you know when to start it. You understand? So that's when I started. I was like...
What was the first thing you learned?
Well, I learned that I need to...
about yourself.
Need to take accountable. Like, what the fuck? Why the fuck did I, like deal with this guy? I knew that I didn't love myself. I'd have no respect for myself. I did have a coach at the time, like a women empowerment coach.
Oh, that's good.
She had a book as well. I read her book, and that's where it started. I started journaling, like forgiving all the people about exes and all of that.
So I started with
and also,
ADHD blog.
And also, is it?
Yeah, on ADHD.
Yeah. And forgiving myself for allowing this person doing this to me, because I can be in a victim mode even till now and be like, yeah, he was a dickhead, but.
You made decisions.
He never stuck a gun to my head.
I always find the hardest part about it is acknowledging your own weakness and forgiving yourself for because at the time you know that something's not right yourself, but then you kind of go along with it anyway. Yeah, and it's a very difficult cycle to break. It's a bit like and so you kind of have to forgive the fact that you're not this, you're not always going to be a superhero. Sometimes you are able to be manipulated.
Yeah,
that's a very difficult thing to come to terms with.
Yeah. I have. I think that's one thing. I have no problem admitting, like, my weaknesses or what I've done wrong, that. Because that's the only way to grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How would you compare your 9-year relationship to this 1-year relationship? Did you
it seems quite opposing
jump out
forces.
the frying pan into the fire, or is it just like a different situation?
Sounds like she went from the cupboard to the fire, really.
Yeah.
So,
it was. That's a really good question. How could we compare? Because they're both bad in their own ways, isn't it?
Well, one was kind of like ignoring you and negligent and kind of took you for granted, and one also took you for granted, but was quite exciting, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it is because that 9-year relationship, the spark was gone. My boyfriend at the time, was no longer putting the effort in, but this guy, the 7 years, the fuckboy basically, was giving me life, like that drama.
But felt good.
Yeah, but that's the thing. A lot of girls think the girls are falling for this toxic energy, for this drama. You don't actually need drama in your life. Why do you want drama in your life? You're like you're putting yourself in fight or flight mode.
Yeah, it's exciting.
You're stressing yourself out, and
adrenaline, I suppose.
So do you think there are girls that seek out drama?
I definitely.
I think
come on.
Oh, not even just girls.
Mate, come on.
Some people,
name it.
Yeah. But that's to do with their issues. Yeah. They have issues. There's probably some sort of like...
There's a lot of insecurity that I think.
And you think by not dealing with those issues that they just repeat it over
and
over
of course.
again.
You have to learn to... Until you realise why you're addicted to this or why you keep attracting this, you're going to continue repeating it. You have to understand. That's why you have to do the inner work, as I say. Heal your inner child, what it is. Maybe it's a father wound or mother wound, wherever it is. There's always a root to the problem.
Yeah, I found that for my little journey, really, I was scared of being on my own, and I was having a quite difficult relationship with other people, but I was being constantly told that I was a bad person and stuff for a long time from people I trusted, but I actually wasn't. And it took someone looking over my shoulder once when I got absolutely white-walled with these messages about how, here's what's wrong with you, blah, 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 even though that I'd not asked. And this woman, and I happened to be, she was in bed with me, and she saw this big white wall from my mate, and she just goes, that's not a normal thing to say to somebody. But I'd been so conditioned to think it was, that actually you do kind of get conditioned, but it's a very slow process, I find. How did you break, when you kind of sobered up to it, or what was your moment where you sobered up to everything? Like when you kind of came away from the fuckboy thing, and what was it that made you think, well, that's it, that's where the line is? Because defining that line is very difficult.
Sorry, from him?
from either of them. I mean, I know that you mentioned it before with the other guy where you were just like, actually, I've realised that for 3 months you were just like, no, fuck this.
Yes, well, with the ex of 9-year relationships, because I was in the gym, starting working as a PT in the gym.
Yeah, having an active life for yourself.
Guys giving me attention when my man has not even given me attention.
Yeah,
right.
You should at least get your flowers occasionally.
Well, I mean, he bought me a rose.
When? Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, yeah.
Oh, come on.
That was it, like that.
I got flowers last month and she's still pissed at me. I can't wait.
With the fuckboy, it was more like, oh yeah, I did. Okay, I missed this bit of story out where you trying to.
I jumped.
Sorry. Yeah, you digging it out of me. Okay,
I'm very good at this game.
Yeah. So
I don't come across that way usually. I'm very good. I'm very bad at listening. I'm doing my best.
Yeah, I guess my story is entertaining then.
It's amazing.
Okay, so it was Ramadan.
Oh,
okay, so he's Muslim. And it was Ramadan, and so that means he said to me, he's making this could be true. Yeah. Basically, he has to be with family because of Ramadan.
Yeah,
was it because
Eid? Come in for the meal.
Wait, was it Eid?
Eid is.
I can't remember.
Eid is the end of Ramadan.
No, but I can't remember which part it was. No, it was Ramadan, during Ramadan. Yeah, and he said he basically, I remember there was 1 week he took my car. There'd been times I lent it for him.
Yeah,
to him. Yeah, but again, that's me playing a fight because it's not insured in there. But anyway,
I mean, if he's got fully comp, he should be okay anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, go on.
Anyway, but so yeah, but then there's one time he took my car for the whole week during Ramadan. Yeah, and he wouldn't answer his phone.
What?
Like
that's theft.
Listen, the way he was driving me crazy.
Yeah,
driving me crazy. Oh my god, I was going crazy. I was banging his phone. I was like calling him like non-stop, like, where are you? When will you bring my car back? He goes, babes, I can't today. I got this to do. Like,
but he's putting but you want your car back. It's your car.
It doesn't matter. He doesn't care.
Motherfucker.
He doesn't care. Anyway, he basically ran away with my car, basically.
Yeah, that's theft.
Yeah, and then I'll call him every single day. And obviously I couldn't tell nobody because...
Yeah, because you just let him have the key.
Yeah.
So it's not a theft, but it kind of is.
Yeah. So to a point, I remember that week it got to a breaking point where I was going, actually,
it's a lot. It's a huge.
It was a lot on my mental health, and
it really wear me down.
Yeah. So at the time I was with my mum was at home.
Yeah.
And I was just eating and made some food for myself, and my mum was just like, she goes to me, "Oh, you made food for yourself." There's a reason I'm telling you this, by the way. Mm-hmm. She goes, "So you made food for yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Where's mine?" I was like, "Well, I didn't think you want to eat because you ate it already earlier." Mm. "Oh, you're so selfish. Why didn't you make me food?" So she kept going on and on, and she was like, "You're so selfish." She kept having a go at me, and I'm already stressed about this situation, and I snapped, and then I stood up and I grabbed something that was on a chair, whatever, I can't remember what it was, I think it was the top or something. I just grabbed it and I just went, "Shut the fuck up!" Like, and just proper screamed at her and just threw that top on the floor, and she just looked at me like, "What's going on?" And I picked it up again, and I ran to the stairs and threw it again.
I did this exact thing about a week ago.
And then afterwards, I ran upstairs to my room. I was like crying, breaking down, and my mum just went upstairs and was like, "What is wrong with you? What's going on?" Like that. And she was so, because she can tell she was so shocked and scared. And I was like, "Nothing." I said, "Nothing. Like, just leave me alone," like that.
Yeah, clearly not nothing.
And
we've all been there. It's like women.
she goes to me,
"Nothing's wrong." Yeah, you're crying. I can see you. I'm touching you. You're shaking. Come on, nothing's wrong. It's fine. It's not fine. Have a hug, you stupid girl.
And then she goes, "Is it because of the car?" And I was like, "Yes, like just let me figure out." She goes, "Where's the car?" I said, I can't stop asking me questions. And I ran back downstairs. She ran downstairs, followed me, and she was like, and she grabbed my arm, and she goes, "Where are you going?" Because I want to leave the house. She goes, "Where are you going?" I said, "Mum, leave me alone. I need to get out of the house right now. I'm going to go crazy." She goes, "No, because I'm worried about you. I don't want you to do anything silly like that." I was like, "Mum, I just need to go for a walk." She's like, "Okay, fine," like that. And then so I just went for a walk because there's like some like sort of park near me. So I just sat there, I was just crying. And I was
on her own crying at night in a London park. I've seen this one, and she definitely dies. And then, she gets murdered.
And then and her crying, like talking to myself, basically like, "What are you doing, Celia? Yeah. Like, what are you doing, Charlie? You're playing with your life. This guy is not serving you.
He doesn't help you.
Yeah, he's putting you so much stress. He's basically he's disrespecting you. He basically stole your car. What the fuck are you doing? Wake up." So then I was like, "You know what? That's it." And I walked back home. I decided, you know what? Tomorrow because I think, thank goodness I had the spare key for my car.
Oh, good.
So I took the Uber to his house, got the car and drove off. And he called me. He goes, did you take the car? I'm like, yeah.
No. You should have said
I was like,
no.
yeah.
Why? Where is it?
Yeah. And then and then afterwards, he came to, because where are you? I'm in the park near his. And he goes, okay, came to me and gave me my car key. And yeah, so from then I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. I can't.
100%.
Yeah, I'm done with this. Get the fuck out of my life. I can't do this anymore. Like, you clearly fucking around, whatever you've been doing in my car. Because when I got my car, there's freaking ashes all over the backseat. So
oh my God, you're smoking someone else's car.
There's ashes all over the backseat, covered in ashes.
It's a nightmare to get
and the passenger seat was all the way down. So what the fuck was he doing in my car?
Did you check for stains of sorts? Probably with a side check.
What I did find is a fucking earring.
Oh wow!
In the car, and I was like, "What is this?" And I said to him, "What is this?" He goes, "I don't know. It's yours now." I was like,
"It's yours now."
Yeah.
That's the most.
And I was like,
the balls on him for even doing that in the first place, but then to go, "It's yours now." Yeah, great. I could be a pirate.
And I said, "Why?"
How did you think he was going? Where was that going to go?
Yeah.
That was going to be positive for him. Jesus Christ! Why don't just sit there and go quiet and then just freeze because they can't see you if you don't move?
He didn't give a fuck anyway. You know,
clearly not.
He just thought it was funny. He was like, he was laughing the whole time.
He was laughing. He was laughing all over your seat.
Yeah, he was like. When I asked him why is his seat down,
like nervous laughter because I've been there where I've done.
No, he was just laughing. Like, think it's funny. And when I said why is the seat down, and he goes, "Oh, don't worry about that." Like that kind of yeah. So anyway, so that was done. So then that was the point where I decided, I cannot do this to myself.
Like your 9-year ex is going to listen to that and be like, "Huh." You know, like, I hate to say it, but like, it's like, yeah, well, you have fun, love. I'll see you in a year in therapy.
Yeah. But so from then, that was basically where I started my self-love journey. But with all the 9-year relationship, well, there was other few bits and pieces as well. So but all of that added up to where I am today, why I'm so passionate about self-love particularly.
It's a very difficult thing to have to kind of create for yourself, isn't it, I suppose? Like,
so how was your upbringing with your parents, like, together?
Yeah, like,
we're not therapists, by the way.
No, we're good. Like, parents are together. Well, they're not the most affectionate couple ever, no.
Yeah.
But they banter, like, it's good. The dynamic at home is good. Like, I'm close with my brother. I'm close with my mum and dad. Well,
a good solid foundation.
Yeah. That being said,
that's a real.
Yeah. That being said, me and my mum, we do clash because we've got the same personality.
Yeah, I have the same thing.
Yeah.
We clash, but I tell you what, we once had this fight where me and him were absolutely going at each other as a teenager, and we were absolutely, and Dad's like sort of got me by the scruff of the neck, and I'm like, I'm going to kill everything. I was going nuts. And then like this woman comes up, I was like, no, where I'm from, we don't hit each other. And I just turned around to her, looked at dead, and I'm like, fuck off my dad. Because I was absolutely, because if anything, I'm going to protect family over anything. And I'm just like, fuck off. And he's like, yeah, fuck off. It's none of your business, you bitch. You know, like, and there's us both punching each other. Well, we won't punch him, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, she was right to intervene. It's very brave of her, but I tell you what, she wasn't expecting that one. Her eyes just went wide. She goes, you know what, fuck it. I just walked off. So you fucking nut job in English. Very good one.
Yeah. But no, actually, because it was fine. Like, it wasn't like I was come from a broken family, nothing like that. Yeah.
I think that's giving you sort of the ability to kind of.
Did you feel loved by your parents?
Yeah. I mean,
have you been taken to therapy?
So, do you know what it is? So with Chinese culture, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Asians put a lot of pressure on their kids, man.
A lot of pressure. So, like, my mum, I know my mum, but obviously they both love me. I know that.
Yeah, of course.
My mum, like, for example,
she did, because like, when you said you were having your, when you stormed out, she was like, chasing you down.
But they show love differently, you know, like the culture is like, for example, I don't know if you've ever seen these like reels on Instagram. For example, the Chinese mum would be like, the way they show you love is cooking for you. Not like, oh, I love you, you're great. Then she has never. Has she ever? Oh yeah, when I was a little kid, oh yeah, you're a good girl, you're good. But as you get older, she wouldn't really compliment you. Be like, oh, you did really well. No, not even that. Yeah,
marry husband.
Yeah. Or
sorry,
why haven't you got A's?
Yeah, exactly.
Huh? Oh, yeah. And if you did get A's, it's like, why haven't you got A stars?
Yeah, it's like, why? Because I was like too busy cooking.
Yeah.
You put so much MSG in this food. It's not fair. sitting here with the shakes.
No, we don't use MSG.
Really?
My household.
I used it for the first time thinking it was salt, and I had a headache for about 2 days.
No, we don't use it because we know it's because we are quite healthy. We eat quite healthy, so they won't put it in their food. But in terms of like they don't really. My mum, my best friend, she's a psychologist, and she said that my parents don't really show up the way I want them to.
Yeah.
So
you want to be reliable, and
what does that mean? Like show up?
So yeah, when she said that, I was like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "For example, just little things. For example, when you have," so I told her when I was like, in primary school, you got those like Christmas shows like that, plays, or even.
Isn't she with play? That's in Austin Powers.
Yeah,
like, they big hand for my dad, and it's like empty seat. It's like Daddy doesn't care.
Like they would show, they come, or they just be like, "Oh, they come because they have to," or even if they come, like they just be like, "I didn't see you. Where were you?" Sort of thing. Or because I played the piano. Typical, I know. So
Sorry.
I would have a performance. They wouldn't come. They just be what? They would be like, "Oh, do I have to come?"
You're the star of the show.
You know, things like that. Yeah. So.
Well, who the fuck else? Everyone subconsciously is always trying to impress their parents. Like I've seen my dad at the age, and my mum. You know, like not so much my mum, but like my dad definitely remember one of him. Sorry, I keep going on about him. But daddy's boy, and like but it's he was like even when his mum was like 90 and he's like sort of 60, and I could still see it. There was still this moment where I swear to God he went, "Mum, look, I'm doing great." She's like, "Very nice, dear." And it's like, "Aw." You never grow out of it. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That is hard because you see all your friends and people in your class have their parents there and your parents are not there.
Yeah.
It's just fucking tragic.
And I remember one time I was...
I just want to give you a hug.
Hey, look.
Do you want a hug? Have a hug. Oh, my darling. I did not see it going that way. And you want a les hug.
But I don't think, like, I'm not sad about it, though. Yeah. Like, I'm used to it because he kind of...
Yeah,
his character building built me like to be resilient, right?
Yeah.
But I remember I was in year 12. I had this massive school music concert. I was playing my piece. Everyone like was clapping like so loud, and even the headmaster. I remember coming over to me. Wow, that was fabulous. In my head, I was like, "Oh, thank you." I was like. By the time, I didn't think, I wish my parents did. But when I went home, I told my mum, I was like, "Mum, guess what? The headmaster told me that I did really well." He said I was fabulous. He goes, "Of course he's going to say that. He's not going to tell you that you was bad, was he?" I'm like,
"Oh my God, my girlfriend said something like that about, like, yeah, like, it's so
he's
hard.
being polite."
Yeah, it's like, why did you take that away from you?
Yeah.
Like,
and they probably don't even realise they're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's culturally something.
Oh, they do it all the time. Even till now, they still do it. Like, for example, what I'm doing... Even till now, what I do, like...
I felt insecure, though, because it's like everything you achieve is just minimised. Yeah. And it's like, it's never enough. So, of course, you're going to feel insecure.
We're wanting validation from other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And also growing up, which I didn't talk about, it's not to do with relationship. Growing up as an Asian girl, I'm actually big. My size is big for an Asian girl. You should know this.
My ex-girlfriend was a midget.
You're quite
like she was like 5 foot. I'll tell you what, we went around Europe once, and that was awkward because she had the Asian sense of humour. She was like 22, but she looked like a teenager.
Yeah,
she was like because she was like little, and she was like like quite petite and that. And she's acting like a teenager. I just look like such a paedophile. Yeah, I was like, she's 25. I swear to God, she's 25. Like she's like,
yeah, I know them ones. Yeah. So yeah, growing up,
she was great though. She was lovely. Anyway, sorry, yeah.
No. So growing up, I get like comments said about my legs and all of that, and my body size. So I'm a size 10. Size 10 in Asia is large.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, like,
or even extra
4,
large.
Yeah, they're like
so,
size 4 usually.
Yeah, so
that's a weird thing to get used to when I was out there. But,
First
time I had sex with a girl, I felt like I'd checked her ID. I was really quite anxious about it. No, I mean she was 25.
No, but I hear what you're saying.
They can say whatever age they're, but they don't.
Yeah, they don't look.
They're ageless. It's not quite. Yeah. They don't look young, but they don't look old either.
Yeah.
So you're like, how old are you? And they could be like 17 and tell you they're 25, and you believe them.
Sometimes I even forget like how small they are until I go back home because
so cute.
Because I'm so used to my size. I never thought it was any problem until like growing up in my teenage years.
Yeah.
I have family members saying like, "Oh wow, your legs are like elephant legs."
Can't they just say you've got long legs?
No, not long. The size of them, the thickness of them.
I wish I had thick legs. Chicken legs.
That must have been like...
That's harsh.
Made you feel really insecure.
They will walk up to you and tell you you're fat. Oh. It's not even like... It's so... Like, in our culture, it's obnoxious, but out there, it's like I've literally gone to a friend's house and her mum's just come along and been like, "You fat."
Yeah.
Don't mean the stomach. And I'm like, "And you bitch." And I go, but I found it funny because I was like, well, I could use a few pounds. And I was like, yeah, well, and then she proceeds to feed me a shit ton of food. So, you know, like, what do you want from me?
I went to uni with this girl. She was like 5'10" Chinese, and she was like walking, and then like these other girls walking past her, and they're talking in, I don't know what language, but they're like, oh, she's so big. Yeah, she can understand it because she speaks the same language.
Yeah, and then like I still remember that when I was 16. What trauma? This is when I knew it's a problem, right? Where I think was it 14? I think I was 15, 16 at that time. So basically, puberty hit. So I started growing and everything, like my legs, my hip and everything. So I went to Hong Kong. I was actually told this story before my podcast. When Hong Kong did this night market. And
that's where we're going as well. It's in like, yeah, it's on the list. Sorry, I'm excited.
Lady market, yeah. So they could sell clothes.
Yeah.
So now they sell jeans. So now when you go to these markets, sizes are Asian sizes. Yeah. Unless you go to like the proper shops, like in shopping malls, that's when they are more European, right?
You go over there.
Oh my God, you're going to have
I don't think we have enough material. We're making tailored. We're going to make it tailored. It's like, you know, like you get the tailored jeans and they'll be sitting there. It's like, I don't have a big enough tent.
Anyway, so then I was there with my aunt. My auntie took me out to take me out for shopping.
Yeah.
Went to this store to buy jeans. She was like, oh, do you want jeans? I was like, yeah. Oh, she was like, oh, you would look good in these jeans. And then, do you want them? I was like, yeah. And then she went to the store owner. I was like, do you have her size? And no, sorry. He goes to me, do you know what your size is? I was like, not sure. And then he goes, oh, don't worry, let me measure you. Got this measuring tape around my hip. And at the time, very much,
I'm going to have to try not to laugh at this.
Listen to this. I'm actually bigger now than back then, yeah?
All right.
Anyway, so it measured me and my hip was 38 inches at the time.
It's normal.
You know? Yeah. Exactly. I was like, okay, cool. But as soon as he measured, he goes 38, my auntie was like, what? Out loud? This is a market public. What? 38? Celia? 38? Your hip's 30. You're only 16. How big are you going to be when you're 18? Like that.
Christ.
And listen, I wanted to hide. I wanted to leave the place. I just want to go home. I didn't even want to get those jeans anymore. I didn't want him.
Shit.
And I was like, yeah. And then
oh my God, you must have gone absolutely purple.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Wow.
And then that guy was like, oh, don't worry. Are you from overseas? I'm like, yeah. He goes, yeah, that's normal. And when people from overseas are always bigger. And the worst thing was that he had to get those jeans, not for it wasn't even out. It was underneath the table. Whereas it was still wrapped up, right?
It somehow makes it worse.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
All wrapped up. And he was like,
especially for you.
Yeah. And there you go. And I'm just like, thank you. Like.
Do you speak Chinese though? Because I bet you could hear what you were saying to his wife.
I speak fluent Cantonese.
Wow.
Yeah, I understand it. So yeah. So then
was he like we need to get the stuff from the bag and please just let
me
go.
That's why. And my auntie was not finished. My auntie's not finished.
Oh no.
We went to the next one and we saw more jeans.
Savage.
And went to next part and she was like, oh, do you like these? Yeah. Boss, get her the biggest size you have. Because these sizes he won't be.
Oh my God, a little part of me loves your auntie. A little part of me thinks she's brilliant. I mean, this is so savage.
That's the culture.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they don't fuck about with people's feelings there. Jesus.
Yeah, and then just growing at things like that. And I remember
it's quite funny in retrospect. I mean, like the way you tell it.
Thinking about it is funny. Yeah, I'm laughing about it
now. Looking back, at the time you weren't.
You got to laugh about trauma sometimes.
And there's another part when I was in Hong Kong. Again, it was in Hong Kong.
She's so mean.
Yeah. I went to like a department store, so I'm thinking the size it would be.
Did you leave your auntie at home this time? Because I fucking
I went with my friends. Yeah. But my friends are also Chinese, so they still have that mentality of like I'm big for a Chinese girl. But anyway, it's not even about them.
Yeah.
I went with them. I looked at this denim dress, right? And then I thought I'd be a small because I thought department store because. It must be
Is this
European
in
size.
China, sorry?
No, this is still in Hong Kong, yeah.
Hong Kong, yeah.
Still in Hong Kong. So I thought it'll be European size.
I still can't wait.
So then I went to the guy, can I have this in small, please? And he looked at me, looked at my hip, like,
no.
Okay. Gave it to me, and changing rooms behind me. Went there, tried to pull it up. Listen, it wouldn't even go past my thighs.
No, you're gonna be like, I'm too thick.
Yeah, and then I was like,
is thick a good one, or if someone says you're thick, is that a compliment, or is it just
Chinese?
It depends where, I guess.
It depends where you're from, yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah. But anyway, so then I couldn't put it aside. I was like, fuck. So went back out and said, can I have medium, please? So when I gave him back, he looked at me. So, he was sitting down sorting things out. So he was like, yeah. And he gave me the medium, right?
Fair enough.
Now, this is the bit. So when I went back in there, because there wasn't soundproof, I couldn't hear everything, what they say outside. His colleague was like, what happened? Didn't fit. And then he goes, her bum's too big. And the word he used was a negative type of kind of word in Chinese. Right. And when he said that, to be honest...
What's the negative word for bum? I'm just curious. Sorry.
I think it's negative, but it's done.
Done.
Like
Wait. She's got a big done.
I got done like that. The bum's big or that. But anyway.
I love Chinese.
So then when I heard that, because of ego now, I thought to myself, I'm not going to go back out. Because to be honest, I really wanted another bigger size.
You should have come out in perfect Chinese instead.
Yeah. Because I was like, I'm not coming in and say,
just give them to you, mate.
Can you give me a bigger size? Yeah. This time I was like, yes, it's fine. I went and bought those dress. Did I ever wear them? No. Yeah, because they don't fucking fit me.
How bad was it? Was it like?
It was just very tight. Yeah. So tight that it would keep riding out because it just wouldn't fit.
Then you got camel toe. It's a fucking nightmare.
No, but it was a denim dress, not jeans. Yeah. So I bought them. Fucking, it was a waste of money, but it was years ago. So things like that. So growing up hearing these kind of comments about my body, that's why it was so insecure.
Yeah.
And this leads to like when I was 21, before discovering fitness, I actually took part in a beauty pageant.
Right.
In London.
I mean, kind of ask you for trouble with those things. Like, they're horrible. They're literally designed to destroy. Yeah, I mean, Donald Trump.
This one, this wasn't like the big this one doesn't lead to Miss Universe. It was like just one of the small ones in London for Chinese girls. It's called Miss China. The reason I did that,
why do you feel like it sounds racist?
Yeah.
Miss China 20.
But this for a Chinese community, innit? Right. But anyway, the reason I did that because that's how I was thinking. Like, I wanted to experience because you might learn.
You play piano?
Yeah, you might learn a bit of everything. Anyway. Also, I thought maybe this could help me boost my confidence, and also
my sweet summer child,
and also overcome that insecurity about my body because the people I'm competing are Chinese girls who are actually stick thin, who are slim. Basically, the beauty standard Chinese people like. So I was like too much. I remember I was psyching myself. Okay, Celia, listen,
so brave.
Facial fears. It's okay, if you do this, that means you're not going to be insecure anymore. Blah 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 and that. So I signed up, and I got accepted. And I remember going in and I saw these girls, like, I was just like, wow.
Were you the only one in there that didn't look a bit anorexic?
They were all like very. They didn't look anorexic, but they're just very slim, slim. Yeah, just small a bit in proportion to me, but just very slim. And then they're really nice. They were nice to people, but did I gain the confidence afterwards? And I was still no.
How did you do in the competition?
How do I do?
Yeah.
Okay, this is another thing. It was a bit of a scam actually, that one. So I did belly dancing.
That's cool.
And it was actually really fun.
Yeah.
But what happened was people basically who organised it or something, they had to vote for certain girls because they were part of the company or something like that. And all the votes would go to some girl that I don't know, I think it was part of the same company or something like that. But anyway, they were supposed to have a final. So that was the semi-final. They were supposed to have a final. That never happened.
Well, I don't
know. They just disappeared.
That's weird.
They just disappeared.
Did you have to pay for the pageant?
No, it was free. It's free.
Oh, as long as it's free.
Yeah. But however, it was a good experience because I got to be a hostess for this film festival, this Chinese film festival. I just be looking all pretty. Got my makeup, got glammed up, got hair done.
Did they give you the makeup? Do the makeup for you?
Yeah, so they had makeup artists there, everything. So I got got to see celebrities from China coming over for this film festival. So it was fun. But the reason I did it was thinking it would help me with my confidence.
It sounds like a good idea. It does sound like a really brave thing to do as well, especially when you're feeling a little bit unconfident. I mean, it's like that whole thing we were talking about earlier with like me being a bit scared to get up on stage, even though I know I'm probably going to.
But you know what it is? Although I was insecure about my body, I've always been confident in going on stage. I've never had problems public speaking. Yeah. Like in uni, I love presentation.
Yeah,
I thought it was so much easier to do presentation than to write assignments. I just love talking, which is what I'm doing now.
Well, it's now. Do this kind of stuff, isn't it? It's like and it's just easy to because you have that instant feed. I was watching this thing with Jimmy Carr in it. It was a podcast that he was doing recently. He's doing the rounds because of his new Netflix special at the moment, and he was saying how I've completely forgotten. Shit, I've completely blanked there. Sorry. What were we saying?
Jimmy Carr. About confidence.
Confidence, yeah. And what was the bit before?
I said on uni I like presentation more than writing assignments.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, because you get the instant feedback from the audience. So it's like if you say a joke and you know it's not funny, they will tell you because they won't laugh, and then you're like, all right, I won't do that.
Yeah, you feed off people's energy.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like there's a positive vibe. I mean, that's what happened when I went and did my stand up once, and the vibe was amazing. Afterwards, I'm chatting to people, and like, I mean, the guy who organised it was a bit weird. I mean, he was like really weird. He shouldn't have been involved in it. He tried to stop me from doing it, and because I didn't bring a bringer. But anyway, I don't know what that is. I still don't know what that is. Anyway, my point is though that okay, I mean, like, that's really good. So you went from like feeling down about yourself, and then you went through these relationships that weren't really worthy of you, really, and then after that you had COVID, and throughout COVID you built yourself back up, I guess, which is incredible, because that was a time when most people started having issues with themselves because they had to remain in the, I think it was like an abnormal number of divorces, and because staying in the same room as your wife for that long or husband for that long, and you start to notice stuff, I guess. I mean, I was actually one of those people who didn't end up going, staying with the person after COVID. But
COVID broke a lot of people up, I've got a friend and she divorced. She had to divorce during COVID.
During COVID, I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, because she couldn't stand seeing him every single day.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But I guess it's a blessing in disguise, because then you realise that, this person's not for you, because if you can't stand to be with someone like that...
Imagine what's going to be like when you retire. Like, and you're like, because I mean, my parents, they have to spend every day together, but to be fair, they do spend it in separate rooms for the most part, but they're a good team. But it's like, I've only got their relationship to base it off, really. But I don't know. I mean, I think there's living with someone, but there's living with when you don't have a job and they don't have a job or something like that, or they're working from home and you don't have a job. Like, you will get on each other's nerves, 100%. Like, yeah. But yeah, so your empowerment journey. Let's try and get that way. You got a website, you got your Instagram, which is doing great, and then like TikTok. Do you have TikTok?
I do. I started becoming more active now.
Yeah, I can't touch TikTok. It's too addictive. I'm just like, no.
Yeah, it's just it's got it.
I love TikTok. He's doing it. Like, we get numbers on TikTok apparently.
Yeah, it's easy to get numbers on TikTok.
Weird, isn't it? Yeah. I don't understand how that works.
I don't get that.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out. For example, like on Instagram, I'm still trying to figure out the algorithm. So one of my reels went viral, 2 million views.
Wow.
Yeah. But it wasn't even nothing to do with the stuff that I talk about, like, the woman empowerment stuff. It wasn't even that. It was more.
It's always what you don't expect.
It was literally the least effort I put in this reel.
It's weird, isn't it? Though.
Yeah,
that's what.
And it was. What I did was basically it was me. I was in Hong Kong, did a selfie in a mirror, like a little video, and then I basically the caption was like, "People in Hong Kong stare at me because," bam, and the list goes on here, right? And I think it's because I put Asian culture, maybe. Yeah. But it went viral with 2 million views. And then obviously I had people like trolling me. People were trolling me, and people obviously supporting me and stuff like that. But I was like, okay, I have less than 2,000 followers right now. Follow me. Instead of post out over 2,000. But
we're doing a collab.
But yeah, I'm trying to figure out, is it the hashtag? What is it, the audio? Because I use trending audios as well with my other reels, but they don't go viral like this one. So
it's weird.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's like, I mean, but 2 million's a lot. Yeah. Especially for I mean, I guess it probably hit a chord because everyone's like, oh, I can relate to that. And all the Asian people like relating to it in a way, I guess. I found there's a lot of stuff. It's like POV when they does this, and it's like a fucking cat stroking itself. You're like, fuck off. What's the other one that is, it's like POV, or like, today I learned that, and you're like, fuck. Anyway, I don't know. There's certain phrases that just do my head in. But anyway, I digress. I've gone off point. High fives. Yes, team. All right, brilliant. Okay, so what advice would you give? What was like your top 3 bits of advice? I think have we asked this already?
No.
Yeah, top 3 bits of advice for women, like if they're feeling a bit shit about themselves. In fact, not just women, but people in general, because I know that you've been through quite a bit, and, it sounds quite similar to what some of the things I've been through. I think we all suffer low self-esteem sometimes, and it can be crushing. How do you, when you've kind of hit that stage that you hit in that park where you're just like, I need to pull my shit together, like what are the top 3 tips you give people?
I have compassion for yourself.
Yeah. How do you...
Definitely don't judge yourself. Like, accept... first of all, accept your past, your flaws. No one's perfect, and accept where you are right now. And it's okay to fuck up, because, like I said, we are human. And even if you make a mistake, this mistake is probably it's actually a blessing in disguise. It actually will shape you, the person that will become even stronger, basically. Yeah. And let yourself feel, acknowledge your emotions.
That's a good one, actually.
So, for example, let's say, for example, right now I'm on this journey, this entrepreneurial journey, as just like the other day, I had a breakdown, basically, because it's hard, and I actually cried and feeling like so frustrated, like all this effort I'm putting in, why am I not getting the results, right? So I feel shit about yourself.
It's tough.
So things like that. So this is when compassion is so important. You just have to, understand that you are doing enough. You are enough now.
I struggled with that last week.
Yeah.
I was so depressed.
I guess it's like be kind to yourself.
Yeah, be kind to yourself. Yeah.
It's like about taking a day off when you need it. Imagine your emotions are high and you're just like, I'm not going to get anything done anyway. Fuck it, I'm going to hit the bottle for a bit.
Imagine you're your own best friend. What would you tell yourself?
Yeah. And also,
are you sure you haven't taken a therapy session?
I have, yeah. What? I've taken therapy before.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
And also, I always say, treat yourself like a baby. Because like when a baby, like you be gentle with them, right? You be kind with them, be patient. You're patient with them. So do the same thing. Treat yourself like a baby. And if you do feel shit, like do something that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
What brings you? Do something that brings you joy. So
this one brings joy.
Yeah.
Sorry, couldn't help it.
So, for example, like me,
Sorry. I'll just do the thing. Go on, do it to camera. It's just fun. This one brings joy. Hey.
Oh, me? You want to say it?
Yeah, go on.
This one brings joy.
That's me off the hook.
Yeah. I would like go dancing because that brings me joy. Good. Makes me happy. Makes me feel good. So do something that makes you feel good.
Yeah. I always find like when I'm having a bit of a shit time, I always go and do these logic games because it kind of helps me process at the same time as I'm doing that. And I find myself getting quite frustrated after about 5 hours of it. But, you know, I guess if you're dancing, then it's all that endorphins, it's all that mood.
You also, you want to connect back into your body. Sometimes we are so disconnected from our body. We're like just so in our head. We're just so focused on like what's stressing us out, what's happening every single day. But maybe just take a moment and just be in a moment like you're breathing, you can see, you've got, maybe, I don't know, you've got a roof over your head or like you have this, do you know what I mean? Like just take a moment and just breathe. And then, yeah.
It's amazing, the difficult thing to do, I think, when you have to like have that moment where you're like...
It is hard, don't get me wrong. Like, it's easier said than done, obviously. But
how do you recognise when you're feeling that way? Or when you need that kind of self-love, how do you recognise that now's the time to just... that time?
So, I would say, right, I am very in touch with my body now, meaning that I listen to my body. So, if I feel I'm feeling stress, then I'll slow down.
Yeah.
I'll try not to be hard on myself. So, for example, I might go for a walk in the park because it's basically regulating your nervous system. You know, because we are so stressed over just, oh shit, I haven't checked my email.
You're the dumbest shit, isn't it?
You know what I mean? So, yeah, so like actually put yourself first, thinking like, you know what? Think about, if I don't answer these emails, is someone going to die?
Yeah.
Exactly, no. So like, when email didn't exist, how did these people contact you anyway? They probably had to wait. That means, yeah. So just...
And they still managed to build the Empire State Building, no problem.
I think that's the problem with society now. Everything is just you constantly doing something. You're constantly checking your phone. There's never that moment where...
in the news...
Like, even if you're go into a coffee shop to get a coffee, while you're waiting in line, you're like scrolling.
And addictive, yeah.
I find like Instagram...
Never got to turn off.
Like when I was on... Like I've stopped trying to go through the Instagram because it becomes a reflex. I've noticed that when I'm stressed, that's when I'll do it the most.
I hate Instagram, actually.
Yeah, me too. Well, I mean, we're on the platform.
We love Instagram.
Can be stressful.
We love Instagram.
But maybe a few less adverts that are targeted. I find that creepy as fuck. Targeted adverts, that's a bit that gets...
Especially when you said something, oh my God, it started popping up. You know?
Yeah. Oh God, I was in a pub discussing alcoholism at one point with a friend of mine who's going through a hard time. And all of a sudden, I looked at my phone and when they went to the toilet and everything was like, Baileys and... like all the alcohol things, I was like, I think you've misunderstood it, Google. Yeah. Creepy as fuck. Like, yeah. Cool. All right. Any other questions? Yeah, I think I'm good, actually. Is there anything else you want to discuss? I feel like a therapist saying this.
I don't know.
Where can the listeners find you?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, do use a little self-promo. It's lovely.
Okay, so follow me on Instagram at I am.Celia Li. That is CILIALI. Same thing on TikTok. Follow my YouTube channel. My podcast called The Celia Li Show. You can find me there. Follow my Instagram, TikTok for inspirational content about women empowerment, self-love, femininity, and everything about loving yourself.
Yeah, it's a really valuable lesson. I think that applies to the lads as well. I think because I mean, it is a difficult thing. I think there's a lot of men who could benefit from your channel as well because
you know what? That's like, I actually have men DMing me and in person saying to me like, I love your content. I'm inspired by it. Force this, blah blah blah, things like that. And because I talk about femininity. I've actually had men say to me like, this is actually so helpful.
Yeah, because you don't know.
Yeah, I've got a wife and a daughter. It actually helped me understand them more, blah, blah, things like that.
It is so useful. Yeah. Because it's like, as blokes, I think we're wired differently anyway. And I think that, we were discussing it on your podcast about how Yeah, so much for the ending. But like, but like, it's all right. Can we chop it and then move it? Yep, good. All right, good lad. I love you, Marlon. I love you. Look at me. Who loves you?
I'm a wife with nothing.
yeah. No, he's got to that stage where it's like, look, man, if you keep interjecting, I'm not doing it. It's like you can't even write the. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, what was the question I was going for?
About you, because I said.
Oh yeah, because like we thought we were the only blokes you'd ever interviewed.
Well, no,
really. So could you? The first question you asked us was
I've
like,
checked out your content. I've seen.
Shut up! Put me in it. I checked it out like a month ago. But sorry. Okay, great. Now I just completely forgot what I was going to say.
You say about tell me about I think other guys maybe that came on.
Yeah. Okay, so no, I mean like, so what have you kind of like? How do you reckon blokes should treat women in general, like to make them feel? Because if you want to support your woman, it can be very difficult sometimes. I mean, hell, I've had some struggles this week. Especially when they say things that hurt you.
Yeah.
Like how's the best way to kind of reconcile and like manage, when they're in a bad place and they're kind of a bit upset with things and everything. How do you deal with it?
Let me ask you one question first. Do you know anything about period?
Oh fuck yeah. Oh my, what, as in the period?
Yeah, period be like blood period.
I feel like that's a taboo thing now, but like,
it's
honestly,
not taboo.
It's a pain in the arse. Like for us blokes, it's like, I mean, last week, I swear to God, I've realised that we have a big fight once a month. And I was like, there's a correlation here.
Yeah. And then I can explain. Do you know much about it?
Yeah. And also, what can we say?
Okay.
Yeah, what do we say to be diplomatic without getting our asses kicked?
Okay. So.
Because they're already pretty scary as it starts.
Let's just debunk all the myths and all of that, right?
Love you.
Okay. So.
Taking notes now.
When girls, you always hear, I bet she's on her period. Why is she moody? You know what? You're right. We are moody because we are coming on. Reason being because it's called a luteal phase, which is the week before our period. All our emotions, the truth is coming out, right?
Christ. Why is it the truth? Why does that always have to be so harsh?
The truth, our emotion, the emotions that we suppressed are all coming out. That we have basically, for example, so the week after our period is called the follicular phase. So this is when we're more lenient. We're more like, yes, fine, blah, 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 like that, right? But when it's in the luteal phase, your truth comes out. You just want to speak your truth out. You're like, you know what? I'm not.
You're done with taking shit.
Yeah, basically, that's why they're moody, and we're not even just tolerating stuff. It could just be previous issues that they haven't dealt with, right?
Tell me.
Anyway, and they're more emotional, and it's true. And also that's why I'm saying basically, if you want to understand your woman, you have to understand where she is in her cycle. So if she's on her period,
good luck trying to ask that question in the moment.
Yeah. So when you know, you know what? There are actually apps where you can actually where she track, and you can even like ask her where she is, or even share it with you. And you can, for example, if she's on luteal phase and she's starting getting more emotional or even aggy, you can just basically hold space. No,
run, boy.
Oh, a lot of women are gonna be like, for fuck's sake.
No, yeah, just like quietly show up with dark chocolate. Be like, please leave me alone. Say, shh.
Like hold space out. What is it? We just want comfort. Like hold space for her. Can be like, what is it that you like? Let's talk about it. Like listen to her. Sometimes we women, we just want to be heard, right? We just want to be heard.
I did that, and she destroyed me. Like, I spent most of this week depressed because she went for the jugular, and I was like, well, I was just trying to be a good boyfriend. I don't want to go into it because I'm trying to get over it. But long story short, it was. I mean, my girlfriend's Romanian, and Eastern Europeans, they are very, very, very brutal when it comes to it. If they want it, I mean, she does not hesitate to speak her truth, should we say? Which I respect about her on the one hand, but on the other hand, I mean, ouch.
But however, that means, you know what? Not any no shade to your girlfriend.
No, not at all.
Just want to say that remind me of something. Some women might want to use it as an excuse. Like they also obviously speak. It's all about their character as well.
Yeah, I mean, she did apologize.
Do you know what I mean? So
she's been a dick.
Like some people, if you come up with all this horrible stuff, mean stuff, I think it's quite telling about their character. Me, when I'm just being one period, I get emotional, but I would never ever say anything disrespectful to people like that. Things that I would regret afterwards. That's me as a person. Do you know what I mean? I just think it depends on that person. Yeah. However, in general, we are more emotional. Anyway,
it's way easy to get overwhelmed, and when you're overwhelmed, it's quite difficult not to kind of feel that frustration and anger in general.
And we need to release, men and women need to release.
And in a safe space as well. I guess, in a way, it's almost a mark of honor that, not a mark of honor, but it's a mark of trust that, I'm not saying it's okay to have a go at your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, but if, when they're, able to, sort of just be like, fuck it, and then have a go, but not, as long as it's not, but then they also have to appreciate the fact that some of the things they say are fucking hard.
So that's what I'm saying, So that's what I'm saying.
Like set up a boundary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like some women, like they need to check themselves. Basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Tell me.
They need to check themselves. And so so when they're on their period,
why are you so mean?
So when they're on their period, be gentle with them.
Yeah.
That's when they're most vulnerable, and some would even like feel pain and all of that stuff. So you want to hold space and just be, what do you need, babe? Like maybe be nice or that.
My girlfriend, where like when we were first dating, where she was like, "Oh, I'm having a few cramps," and I rode over there and I brought her chocolate, red wine, spinach, all the stuff with the iron in it. I got iron tablets, women's health tablets, and I went all in. I think I spent about 10-15 quid on it.
Yeah.
And I was, and I wrote her a little note being like, "Don't worry, you're still okay."
Yeah.
And she said it was one of the sweetest things she's ever. No one's ever done it before. And she, like when we had an argument recently, and I said like, "What's I need you to tell me some good things about me, because frankly, if you leave now, I'm not going to be okay with it."
She said that to you?
No, I said it to her. Okay. And I was trying to listen, and I did the listening thing, which was tough, but. She said that, and she said that, I've never had anyone take care of me the way you did, and I still adore you for it. It's so caring, and it's so good, and I still remember that. Yeah. And it was like a year and a half ago, or whatever it was, and it's just,
you still do
those little things. Sometimes, but so usually it's like she gets, because she knows me better. Like she did press my buttons last week a bit, and I couldn't really talk to her because I was like too upset. But since obviously we've been better now, but I think though it's a case of, it is like establishing that boundary as well. So I think when you get deeper into a relationship and people get more comfortable with each other, like you have to be able to give them space to apologize as well. Because I was hurt and I didn't want to, and I wasn't going to shit around and be like, I wasn't going to be a shit about it, but I just didn't really want to talk to her because she'd been mean. And so I was like, all right, I'm just going to give myself space and self-respect and have that boundary and be like, look, if she's going to act like this, then fine. But she can act like it on her own. And I give her I put her in timeout. And she, I'm normally very communicative, and this time around I was like one word answers, like, yep, cool. Yeah. And then, but in the end, she was like, can we go for a picnic? I'll make you a picnic and stuff like that. She made us a picnic, and it was absolutely lovely. And then we've had a lovely time since. Yeah. But I think that's quite important though, to allow them to repair the damage when they say stuff that's hard. You have to be open to it, and it's a tough thing to do because I really didn't want to go to that picnic, but the fact is that she made the effort, and a lovely day, and we did it.
As long as you
sunburn,
as long as you made the effort, then that's good. But obviously,
if they apologise as well, they have to sort of apologise and mean it, because otherwise you've just been taken apart. And there's that very fine line between handling someone who is frustrated and under a lot of pressure and just lashing out a bit, and sustained abuse, emotional abuse. Oh yeah,
100%. And that's toxic. If
they don't apologise, and they only apologise because you've had a go at them, saying like, this is where the line is, and if you keep doing that, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm not going to kick your ass, but I'm going to leave. Yeah. I'm going to make some drastic measures here, and I'm thinking of it.
Yeah, and this is where that self-love.
Like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And it's like, but you've said it repeatedly.
And this is where, as for men, where the self-love comes in. Yeah. You need to love yourself enough to not even tolerate this stuff. Like have boundary. Yeah. If you're going to tolerate her disrespecting you, you're not respecting yourself. Like, if you do it, exactly.
And it's not even conscious. I don't think it would be.
So let me ask you a question. Is there men that actually follow that the where the woman is in her cycle? There are women that men that actually
not enough. There should be more men.
Yeah,
we
definitely should.
You should.
It does feel a taboo to even say it. Like, because it does. As a bloke, I'd feel quite uncomfortable. Not because it's like icky sticky or anything like that, but it's like. It feels like it's not really my place to ask, even though, you're sitting there as like, hang on, we had this argument last month, and
how would you recommend that a man goes about asking?
Yeah, how would you?
So depending on how do you normally ask? Have you ever thought of how you're going to ask it? Don't be like,
oh, I know it.
Don't be like, babe, are you on the period? Is that why you're angry? Like, don't do that, because I think that would
That's how you get turned on fire. Next thing you know, it's like, look, honey, put the fucking frying pan down. Just calm down. Put the knife down. Yeah. Please put the knife down. It's like, no, my mother is not like that. Leave my family out of this.
So I think
not Mr. Snuffles. Anything but Mr. Snuffles.
So does she track her period?
She knows when she's late. Let's put it that way.
Okay. But if she doesn't, then maybe she suggests, oh, babe, like, we can even say like, oh, I just interviewed this girl called Celia. She suggested tracking your period.
And here's her Instagram.
Yeah. Tell her to download the app, track it, and then afterwards, I think, I don't know if all apps have it, but some of the apps allow you to share it with your partner, so your partner also knows, because you can also improve your sex life as well.
It does help, doesn't it? I've noticed there is a pattern, isn't there? It's like
you can improve your sex life as well.
You said there was a stage after the period, and I don't want to like overgo with this, but is that when are you most likely, as a bloke,
when you ovulate?
When are we most likely to get to be lucky if we try it on in that period, in that stage?
Ovulating. So basically, this is on the day 8 onward, between the day 8 to day 14, I think.
Is day 1 when you start to?
Oh, sorry, no.
When you start
to menstruating is day 1. I'm very bad with the numbers, but basically it's the second is menstruating follicle, the third phase, so ovulation.
So if we're talking in 30-day period, like roughly,
it's a
4-week period.
Okay, let's say the period. Period is 5 days.
Right.
So 5 days, and then not 5 days. So
give them 5 days.
Maybe about 10 days later. Maybe about 10 days later.
10 days later, that's when we're going to get some.
Yeah, because
so that came out very crudely.
Because they're very bit more horny. They're horny. They're like this is basically all the hormones are at their peak. Like the reproductive hormones are at high. Energy is at peak. They're more extrovert. They want to go out, that. They just want to do something like that. Yeah,
it's like we haven't evolved that much from cats, have we? Because I mean, it's like oh, she's on heat.
Right. Yes. So anyways, to answer your question. So ask it, like, make sure that the best thing I would say, track it, and also where she is.
And you can't take it too personally when they say
and then if she does, get emotional, Aggie, just hold space for her.
How do you mean? But what does hold space?
Like just listen, like make her feel safe. Yeah. When I feel safe, that means like I'm here to protect, not that. Like it's just like
let her feel heard.
Yes, yeah. So because a lot of women, to be honest, we just want. Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying.
A lot of times we just want to be heard. To be honest, we want to be heard. Want to feel seen.
Of course.
I can't speak for every woman, but for me, I don't.
I think everyone. We've discussed in your podcast. Yeah. I think everyone has that desire to be seen. It's what you were saying earlier about your parents as well.
Yeah. Like, I can't speak for every woman, but for me, I don't care about you and my man buying me expensive stuff. It's not that.
It's about the care they put in.
Yeah, like you just being there with me, like spending time with me. For me, maybe because obviously we have different love language, innit?
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, spending time with me and affection, just holding space.
Like, a lot of people say that their number one love language is time, spending time and quality time as well. I thought that was quite an interesting part because, we go on, sorry. So spend time with them.
That's for me anyway. Like that, and that's how to be honest, a lot of women, why we complain because we don't feel heard. Like back then, the guy I was with for 9 years. He once said to me, "You're always complaining. You're never grateful."
That's something that I struggled with last week.
So now
like, I do a lot for you. Just tell me what I do that's right. And then I think redirecting the narrative from her being frustrated and angry at me for various things, none of which were really my fault, but I'm doing my best. But
was there any truth in that then?
I would say nothing in back.
Cut my bit there.
I would. I would say but the thing is, it takes two to tango. Right. The reason I kept complaining because now he was very slow with everything he promises me. So, for example, an example like the flat we was living at, he said he would paint the walls.
Right.
Okay.
To be fair, that's a bitch to start.
The thing is, he loves painting. He's a handyman.
Oh no.
He bought the paint, left in the living room for a good 6 months, and he has done nothing. Yeah. So then I was like, when are you gonna do? So little things like that.
Like getting the
we are like that.
Yeah. Yeah, do you know what I mean? But that's I'm like.
It took me 3 months to do my ceilings. I just sat there living in squalor. Yeah. And I was literally living in bin. So.
But that's just one example. It's not just because of the painting. There's a lot of many other stuff like you say you would do, but he just takes his time and just won't do it like that. And it's like you make me feel like what I tell you, you're not listening to me anyway. So yeah. So at the time, I can see it, but I think. What I would do differently now, instead of complaining, what I tell the ladies now, my audience, is that communicate, like compliment them. For example, saying like for example, let's say I'm your girlfriend. Let's
you lucky thing.
let's say
I'm joking, by the way. I didn't say I was out of your league.
What did you say?
I was like, you'd be lucky I'm out of your league.
Oh.
But then I thought about what you've been saying earlier. I'm like that. Yeah. Come on, you little zero. I'm like, sorry, that was harsh there, but. You laugh, I'm off the hook.
Yeah,
okay, right.
Don't worry, I'm not taking it personal. And so let's say, for example, you organise a date night, right?
Yes.
And I'll be like, oh, babes, I love this restaurant. I love the fact that you
great choice.
You did just compliment what you did.
Yeah.
and it inspires you to do more, right?
Of course, yeah.
So by the time I didn't do it, I never complimented him. I just like, okay, thanks, babe. You know what I mean? So
he must have felt a bit taken for granted, and you felt taken for granted.
Yeah. So obviously, that's why I'm taking accountable. I wasn't just him. It was I was
respect that.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, to the girls, if you want a juicier relationship, improve your love life,
and give blowjobs.
Yeah. Okay, that. Work on your blowjob skills.
No one ever got divorced over too many blowjobs.
And just like, know how to hold space for your man, because the man also wants to be heard and seen as well, not just you.
Yeah, it takes two to
tango. Yeah.
I think that's something that, there's. I mean, when I was having a bit of a crisis of masculinity and like following a major breakup, it was something that I had to learn was that it's okay to like to have needs and and to want to be complimented on things as opposed to being needy or whatever. It's not. It's just human nature to want to feel good about yourself. Seen.
Yeah.
As you say, it's surprising how like there's always gender divide stuff, and yet everyone seems to want the same thing. And like I don't know if that's a societal issue. Well, I know it's a societal issue, but it's interesting how simple the answer is. Like, because I think that a lot of the things you said about empowering women is stuff that I, when I was doing my research trying to figure out what the hell was going on with me, it was like, it's amazing how much of that advice is very similar to what I was reading and hearing as well. It's impressive.
Yeah.
It's sad in a way.
It is.
But yeah, because I think everyone gets... Yeah.
And also, like, this is gender war thing.
What the fuck is that?
It's just bullshit, man. Like, men are not masculine enough, or men are not... And then the men will be like, you women are blaming men, are so quick to blame on men. Like, this is just a constant cycle.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
Yeah, just like, you know what, just
both sides attacking each other.
Yeah, just what's the love at?
They're all just lonely people who, I think that's quite a sad thing, because they're people who have either been hurt before, which is okay, like we've all been hurt, but it's almost immature, it's like, all men are scum. Oh, sorry, no, they're not. Like, and like saying, it's like what we talked about in your one, like the red pill, blue pill thing. It's silly. Yeah. It's like, most people just want to be appreciated and, have someone to make them dinner occasionally. Yeah. It's nice. And, like, I want a hug. You can have a hug. You're my special person. And that goes both ways. I think it's just such a simple thing. Hug more people. Also, sleep naked. It's another one.
Actually, it's good for you.
It's so good.
It's actually good for your health, yeah.
It's really good. It's like, there's nothing softer than your missus. And you just sit there, it's like, oh, you're so lovely. It's like, get your hands off my tits. No, they're lovely as well. Like, get off. I'm trying to sleep, you prick. It's like, yeah, but...
You see that? Is that what your girlfriend's like?
Hey, no.
Okay. But the way you just described it, a lot of women are like that they don't... They push away the affection.
Yeah, that's something I've found, actually.
And I
quite
think
a lot of people.
That actually...
How do you respond to that?
Yeah, puts the man off, right? So it's kind of like, what? Like, I want affection, Like, don't you find me attractive or something? It's like, I think...
That's how it does feel sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not saying that I get sometimes maybe we do want a bit of space, but it's like, be more gentle, but be like...
It's like, when is it appropriate to kind of, like, sort of, not try it on per se, but, like, to instigate, should we say? Because that can be quite difficult, because there's a lot of micro rejections, like, no, get off, that kind of thing. And then I think after a while you just learn... almost behavioral. It's like, to go into psychology, it'd be like, behavioral. It's a learned behavior that you're just like, okay, well, that didn't work. Let's try something else. What else can I try? I mean, like, if a girl's, say, pushing back at you because they, like, not necessarily because they don't like you, but how do you kind of change your behavior to make that, to change what the result of that is?
So, as in, what would I do?
As in, if let's say your boy, you were like, you didn't really want your boyfriend,
touch me,
touching you up, or whatever, but then how would he go? Sorry,
sort of weird.
Yeah, how do you go about like trying? Yeah, how would you prefer that he approached you if he wanted intimacy that wasn't necessarily sexual, just a cuddle or something? But if you're in the mood, it's like, nah, I don't really want to be touched.
You know what? I've never had that before, because I'm an affectionate person.
It's sort of weird that you would have to, like, I don't know, declare it that you want.
Yeah, because I love being spooned. I love my man hugging me. I love being shown affection. I love showing affection as well. That's what I'm saying. I'm an affectionate person. I've never had that problem with me. If anything, if my man doesn't hug me enough, I'll be like, can you hug me, please?
Yeah, it's like, I need a cuddle now. It's like, nah, not right now. I'm just not in the mood. It's like, well, I am.
But if I think sometimes some women are just avoidant.
Yeah. How would you get around being if someone is avoiding?
If it's avoiding,
how do they become more?
They need to address the issues they have. Why are they avoidant?
Yeah,
obviously to deal with like the the previous trauma from previous relationship, or maybe it could be childhood trauma, whatever it is, father wound, mother wound. That's why they're avoidant. Yeah.
And how, as a partner, can you, resolve that or like support them through that journey?
You have to make them feel safe, understand what is it that what their needs are.
Making new.
And
also feel that there's different personality types. So maybe somebody like that needs to be with somebody who don't necessarily need a cuddle all the time.
Yeah.
So there's different personality types.
Yeah.
Cats and dogs, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's why if that's another thing. If affection to you is important, then you need to rethink if that person is for you or not. Because you can't be just settling for good enough, thinking, you know what, I'll be with this person for a while, might as well stick with this person. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I was that 9-year relationship, it could have ended a long time ago. But because I was with him for a long time, I was like, you know what, I've been through so much.
It's easier.
On the 5th year, it should have ended on the 5th year, to be honest with you. But I just dragged it on.
When you said that you wanted to get married to him, though?
We spoke about it. I said, join kids.
How was the first year of that relationship?
It was good. It was nice. Was it? It was nice. Yeah, it was good. We actually broke up the 3rd year for a week and then we got back together.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then we had a few arguments where he actually hit me twice.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's where the line is.
Yeah, I stayed. I forgave him.
When you say he hit you, do you mean like proper punched you?
No, he didn't beat me up. Yeah, that's
okay.
Now that's the thing.
Because there's a difference.
Yeah.
There's actually there isn't a difference.
Yeah, he still laid his hand on me. So basically, the one time, basically he put me on a chokehold against the wall, and then from there, like his eyes, the way his eyes, it's almost like
the rage,
and then from there he just picked me up and then just threw me across the room onto the sofa. And I remember banging my head on the wall. Like that was just shock for me.
Whoa, that's concussion stuff.
Yeah, and then the second time was.
But he had you jump on them, sweep, and then threw you from there.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a lot. That's going to cause concussion.
Well,
and the throttling and then the.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to bring up from past traumas, by the way.
No, it's fine.
It's important to talk
and then second time was. Do you know both times I did something so stupid as well. Anyway, second time was I was just sitting on the sofa and he would just sit on the kitchen table and he grabbed something like this bag. It was a soft bag, but doesn't matter. That's not the point. It was soft, and I said something. He goes, "Oh, why are you so rude?" And it picked up and just threw it on my head.
What, like full on or just like?
Yeah, full on, threw it on my head. Yeah, like although it was soft, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
It's
not like it's like a pillow.
Yeah, and then and it triggered me obviously. And my instant reaction was like, "What?" Like, so I grabbed it and I wanted to throw it back at him. And he was like, "What? What are you gonna do? You wanna what? What are you gonna do?" And he got up his chair.
He started to fight with you.
And then he just grabbed my hair. No, sorry. Did he grab my hair? I can't remember. I just remember. You know what? It happened so fast. I don't remember.
It does.
But I remember he put my arm behind me and just grabbed me and just pinned me down on the sofa, like pushed my face on the sofa like that.
You haven't done anything back at that point.
Nothing. No. And then I just said, I was in shock. So I'm sorry.
Right.
And then I remember that the second time was the night before my birthday as well.
What?
And then I woke, and then I remember when he went to bed and he wanted to like hug me, and I was just like, don't touch me.
Is that after he's just throwing you around a bit? And
yeah, so basically both times he still wanted like hug
of course
me, whatever.
not. Like,
and then
don't feel safe.
Yeah, I remember one time I don't remember if it was the first or second time. No, the first time I said to him, basically I can't remember exactly what I said to him, but I texted him basically along the lines like how he basically said that, why are you acting like I beat you up?
Because he grabbed you by the neck and threw you.
And he goes, you make it sound so serious. I didn't beat you up,
If that to me as a friend, we would have issues.
Yeah.
Although we did take a picture of him pretending to strangle me one time. We got very drunk. Anyway, it's a different story. Yeah, go on.
But yeah, and then I think I said to him, like, how can you act like nothing happened? Oh yeah, I think I said, how can you act like nothing happened? And he goes, well, what do you mean? Like, you're acting like I beat you up. I didn't beat you up. I can't remember how he put it, but he made it. But he basically put it like say it was nothing. And I was like, how can you say it's nothing? You laid your hand on me. Yeah. Anyway, so the second time I remember it was the next day was my birthday. This was really bad. I had cuts here.
Fuck.
And I had bloodshot in my eye. And I didn't even know until I got into. I remember it was going red, but I didn't know there was a bloodshot there. Yeah. So I'm going to work, and then the security guy, I say hi to at reception. I looked at him, and was like, Yeah, he was like, what happened to your eye? I was like,
fall off a bike or?
And I was like, oh, I said, because I wear contact lenses. I was like, oh, it's just eye infection from the contact lenses that happens. And he goes, whoa, it's really bad. You better get checked. So I thought it was just red. It wasn't like the blood because he didn't show in the morning. Yeah. Went into the office. My manager was like, oh, what happened to your eye? I was like, oh, just contact lenses. Yeah, okay. But
did you put glass in there?
But I didn't even realize I had cuts here
until that.
I don't know, until I got into the office, into the toilet, went to check. I was like,
shit.
Red, literally red, and then there's some cuts here. I was like, fuck. So I had to, and I was supposed to have my birthday lunch with my parents, and I had to cancel. I was like, Mum, I said I've got a meeting. I'm not doing it. Oh, you
ruined your birthday. That's not.
Yeah. So that day I went to my best friend's house. I was on the phone to her and I cried, and she was like, "What?" And she goes, "Come to mine."
Out of that, like.
And then I stayed at hers, and then at 11 p.m. that day, he texts me. He goes, "Happy birthday. Where are you?" And then I said to my first friend, "This is him texting me at 11 p.m. on my birthday."
Apologise. He just said 11 p.m. Happy birthday. Yeah. Where are you?
Yeah.
On your birthday.
Yeah. And then I said, and my best friend was like, "Take a picture of him and show him what he did to you." So I showed him the eye and the cut, and he goes, "What's this?"
You.
I said, "This is the birthday present you gave me." He goes, "What do you mean?" I was like, "You did this to me yesterday." And he was like, "What?" Like, apparently he didn't realize he did that to me, blah, blah, blah.
Drinking or something? Oh, yeah.
No. And then, and his story was like, oh, basically I was trying to control you because you was going to go crazy. When you picked up that bag, you did like a roar and like you wanted to
just throw it back. Yeah. You himself.
And then I said to him, "You know what? I'm so done with this."
Yeah.
And then he begged me, like, "I'm so sorry. I don't want to lose you." And then I forgave him again.
Yeah, no, I had something similar. I had my ex-girlfriend back when I was when I knew Marlon at first. She hit me. She slapped me so hard that it burst my eardrum, and the pint I was holding in my hand skittered across the courtyard we were in because I hugged a friend of ours a friend of mine who was engaged, and security moved in on me. As if in case I retaliated, which I didn't, luckily for her. But then afterwards, she just kind of followed me around until I finally spoke to her, and then gave me a joint. Then wanted to smoke a joint that was my weed anyway. And then that was when I learned that this person didn't have any respect for my boundaries or me, and she just flew into this rage suddenly out of nowhere. And all of a sudden, I'm hug a mate, and I turn around and bang, almost all I can hear is a pinging, and it took me a long time for that to heal. Because I'm a swimmer, normally I was a swimmer, and couldn't go swimming for a while. Even then, every time I was underwater, if I was going diving, it would hurt. Stuff like that. It was weird. It still does it sometimes, actually. Just weakened eardrum, and you're just like, what the fuck was that? And then you think, at the time, you're like, all right, well, we all have days where something goes wrong with stuff like that. But when it's the shock of it, and you don't know how to react because there's someone who's supposed to love you, and you're supposed to be the person who's there with me, or I'm a partner who I've done a lot of good things for. You want to think that you deserved it, but you didn't, and you don't want to see them as the baddie or what they did. But it's a very difficult thing to come to terms with.
Especially if you've been with someone in a long-term relationship and you love them.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's like, if for those people who have not been through it, they'd be like, oh, but they hit you. It's a non-negotiable. Walk away. It doesn't work like that. It's a lot harder.
You want to forgive them more.
Yeah.
Because you were living with him as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
You don't want to believe that they're that person.
Let me ask you, when he did that, was he the next day apologetic or sorry, or did he gaslight you, or that didn't happen, or it wasn't that bad?
Yeah, so the first time, I was telling Les earlier, basically, I remember I was going to work. I think, Chris, was he awake? I can't remember, but I think he woke up. We both woke up at the same time, and he was talking to me like nothing happened or something. So I just didn't really want to talk to him.
He was in a lot of denial and shame.
And then so when I got out of the house, I texted him. I was like, how can you act like nothing's happened? Was that right? I know I said something like that, but I don't know why I said that to him, because he must have said something to me before that. And he goes to me, what are you talking about? Why are you acting like...
You pinned me down.
Yeah, why did you act like I beat you up or something? I didn't beat you up.
Well, I mean, where's the line for it?
And I'm like...
Someone up. I
was like, you put your hands on me. Like, you're telling me this is not... and you say it's nothing. And he goes, yeah, I put my hands on you, but it's not like I beat you up.
Yeah, but you're a lot smaller than him. That's terrifying.
Yeah. He was 6'3".
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, a man should never put his hands on
You should never hurt a woman. And I mean,
nor should the women did this.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, I guess at times, I mean, I think that there is sort of there are times when, you pin, you shouldn't go for the throat unless you know that, unless you're under threat. Like, the only time it's okay to hit a woman is if it's got a knife.
Yeah, I remember when he...
or you're really scared for your life, in which case that's self-defense. Easy.
Yeah. I remember he gave me a massive bruise on my chest when he like grabbed me to throw me like across to the sofa. The next day, like, my chest, massive bruise there, and I was like, "What the hell?" Like it was almost like someone punched me. That's how
crazy.
Yeah.
See, but yeah, because I was always scared of just like because technically that's assault. Like on legally speaking, ABH.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and
not maybe common assault.
Yeah, common assault.
What? Poking someone?
Yeah. I mean, I did criminology, and I was speaking to the cops.
So did I.
Oh, girl. High fives. Criminology, right? Did you get anything out of that degree?
No.
Me neither.
No, I started, you know what?
A very good reference. You absolutely love me.
I went through clearing.
Yeah,
and then I just called up any university, whatever they had left, and then came to.
It's interesting as fuck, though.
Yeah, came to university at Westminster. They was like, "What do you have left?" "Oh, we have criminology and combined honour with economics." I was like, "Yeah, that will do. Whatever."
Economics. That's a weird combined.
Yeah, I know, but it was two separate degrees anyway.
Yeah,
but I always remember I just memorized all the essays for the exams. Passed it, got 2-1. I forgot everything already. I forgot everything.
I'd like to always have to commit the perfect murder. And that's the only one that I remember, the only lecture I remember. No, there was two. There was one that was feminism. The woman was very feminist.
Yeah.
She opened with all men are paedophiles. What? And we were I shit you not. She was a German woman, and she goes, all men are paedophiles.
What?
Her argument, I think, was that...
there's women are paedophiles.
Yeah, it was that because we tend to look for the younger model, we're technically, depending on where you draw the line on what constitutes paedophilia, all men are just looking for the younger and younger out. And I was one of 3 guys in a room full of 72 women. There were 72 of us, and I was one of 3 guys. I just put my hand up, and I was like, "Excuse me." She's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, and I could feel so many eyes on me going, because and I was like, okay, well, we're in a bed of dinner snakes here. I'm not a paedophile. And my mate Tom just stood up on the other side of the puts his hand. "Yeah, me neither, actually." It's like,
actually.
It's like, come to think of it, it's just like...
He was going along with it.
Actually, now I come to think of it, I'm also not attracted to children. And I was like... And she looked me dead in the eyes from across the hall and goes, "Yes, you are." And I was sitting at that point, I was like...
What's the argument, though?
No, it was just her opening point was, all men are people. It's feminism and criminology. And I think that, I actually did one of my best essays for her. I got 70%. My friend, who's a girl...
At least she gave you 70%.
I got 70% for a first, but I put so much work into it.
I'm not a paedophile.
No, it was actually about the bloody code and how... but some of the reading materials was bizarre. It was like this one called the Woman's Press, which the emblem was... and there was 0 citations. People complained, including most of the girls complained about the fact that we had to read it because it was going on about some ridiculously overblown stuff about how, like our sisters were raped in front of the pyre as their mothers burned and all this other stuff. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. The witch hunts and stuff. It was about that and the bloody code. That was it. And I read through it. I was like, there's not a single citation in any of this. There should be at least some sort of backup evidence. Why, this is just bizarre stuff. And it was this woman who was absolutely going for gold. I think it was 10 pages of this shit. And I was highlighting it. I was like, this can't be real. And so I checked it all out, and it wasn't true. I mean, there were cases where that did happen, but that was because of the person who was being executed, the family that was being executed, basically oppressed this village for 100 years, and there were worse people. There were mass murderers, that kind of stuff. So yeah, the village got their own back, but it was. I mean, but I was a bit like, that doesn't sound right, because I mean, if it's a religious society, that's why they were burning witches, because they were scared of. They were just scared. But you wouldn't then rape someone's daughter while their mum burned. That just doesn't make sense in context. The burnings make sense in context because they thought it was going to purify, the woman. But I mean, it was just bizarre. And I was like, that's not good, And that was my introduction to feminism, being called a paedophile. And I was like, I'm like,
you point right.
Yeah, I'm like definitely not a pedo. I mean, I've got my my nieces and whatever, and I'm just looking at them. I'm like, who the fuck would ever hurt you? Yeah. I can't imagine what that would be like to be like this little kid sitting here and reading a book with me. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's disgusting.
She just has issues. You know what? She's been hurt probably by men.
Yeah. She did seem. Yeah. I mean, she did come across a bit of a Martha.
No, get into that.
Old school.
The baby reindeer.
Oh my god! Someone told me about that.
Yeah, she came forward.
Perth Morgan, the interview.
Unreal. I haven't actually seen the interview yet. I can't comment. But the bloke was like,
"Oh, is it based on a real story?"
Yeah. It was based on a real story. And then and the thing is, the guy kind of, I mean, he was a real person. But I'm amazed that the rapist hasn't come forward and been like, "Oh, sure, I didn't rape him." It's like, yeah, you definitely.
Wait, hold on.
But have I identified?
Raped by a
Have you
woman.
seen this?
No, he's raped by a guy.
He's raped by a guy. And then he turns to, and his girlfriend's a trans person. It's amazing. You should watch it.
So basically,
it's quite a heavy, I mean, make sure you got a glass of wine handy.
Yeah.
It does
Episode 4 is rough.
It's rough.
Yeah.
It's.
I had to take a 3-week break from watching the show.
Same.
Really?
I took a week off. I took a week off.
Yeah.
Mostly because it was bedtime.
I was like, I can't watch this show. I'm mad. 3 weeks off.
I was watching it with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And we were just like, well, that wasn't quite the easy flick that we were
Hard.
imagining.
It was hard to get through episode 4.
We went to bed in dead silence.
Yeah.
Which for me is a big deal. I'm very bad at silence. It's crazy.
So it's basically he's like
good.
a failing comedian, and then he gets like groomed by this the writer.
Yeah, like a writer of some successful show, Channel 4 show, and then he gets groomed by him, and then he starts doing drugs with him, and then he wakes up with the guy with spit on his cock and stuff like that, and the guy keeps sucking him off and
every day, every time he gets high with this guy, the guy does something to him.
And he keeps feeding him BHB or something. Yeah, to just take the edge off.
Muscle relaxers and stuff.
So he can't move and he's trapped, and then eventually rapes him. And then...
But wait, but he's allowed because he wants to make it.
So he keeps hanging out with this guy thinking, it's going to go somewhere, but it doesn't. He predicts... And the conclusion is quite impressive, but it is very emotional. It makes you... I mean...
Part of you is like, why did you keep going back to
Yeah. And meanwhile, he's got the stalker woman.
Yeah.
And she's the one who calls him Big Reindeer. But then in the end, it's really quite...
I guess part of his character needs some of this. He needs the attention from the stalker, and he also needs this guy to help him. He's so desperate to get...
To be something.
Yeah.
And he's chasing success in such a way.
So he knows something's wrong, but he just keeps putting up with it. Till eventually he gets raped by this guy, and then,
But his life is a bit weird, and it's like, you do... I mean, you do get frustrated with the protagonist, but at the same time, you kind of see that it could happen.
Yeah.
It's not so far fetched.
Yeah.
And you can, and it's very psychologically moving. It's a bit like Saltburn. Where it's like there were those scenes that you're just like, it was good, but it was disturbing.
Yeah. So he was straight before all of this happened, and then now he's...
And his girlfriend is, he turns to a trans girlfriend after he was raped. And
maybe he enjoyed the feeling.
No, I think it just called into play his sexuality. He doesn't know what he is anymore.
Yeah. And got confused if he was gay or not.
The psychology.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's really dark. Yeah. It's deep. And it's so...
That's why they say, when men go to prison, they come back gay. Come out gay.
No, not always.
No. I've never been in prison. I don't know.
No, but they say that they say some men come out come back.
Clearly from the UK. Too far? I don't care. Is that what the line is? That's what the line is. Okay.
I think that's just the line.
Hey, I'm not the one putting people away. Jesus Christ, I don't care. Well, I care, obviously. I care, you shouldn't be falsely incarcerating people just because of the colour of their skin. Anyway, moving forward.
Disclaimer.
Not racist. I'm surrounded by people from different ethnicities. We're like a diff dream here. Anyway, sorry, go on.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, so
we'll talk about being...
Oh, yeah. It's a really good... I mean, I'd recommend it, but I mean, definitely don't watch it with the kids. Yeah. Jesus, you're going to be fielding some awkward questions if you do that. But yeah, it's very mature, but it's very emotional in so many different ways. I mean, it's brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and they tracked down the person that was stalking him, and she's come forward and said it was live or whatever.
Yeah, but come on. No, I mean, I mean, I've had
apparently
that's not
sent
great.
him 41,000 emails.
Yeah.
Huh?
She sent him 41,000 emails, 400 voicemails.
So legally, it counts as cyber stalking if you send 2 messages within 6 months of someone telling you not to talk to them again. That's what the law is. You have
2 messages in 6 months.
Yeah,
that's nothing.
4, yeah, exactly. So technically, like things like putting pictures of them on Facebook or whatever, you can get done for that if they don't like it. So it puts people in a very awkward position because the law does need to be updated a bit. But this guy comes in, he says, look, she's emailing me constantly. Look, here's another one. Ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding. And the police, of course, they're just like, all right, well, just block her. He's like, but he couldn't. And then,
because she's using burner email
address. And burner email addresses, yeah. And it's just like, but then after a while, he starts listening to her voice notes at the end. And she tells him why she calls him baby reindeer. It comes from childhood trauma. So and that makes the whole thing bizarre because it humanizes this woman who's, just a lonely person at first, and then she gets weirder and weirder, and then she gets violent and then hits him with a glass and stuff like that, and really, really scary, and like attacks his girlfriend, the trans person, and then ruins his life basically. But then because she keeps doing it, his girlfriend leaves him.
I feel like there was an aspect of when he reported it to police that they didn't take it as serious because he's a man.
Yeah,
he's a man going through this. They're like, what? Why are you not doing something about it? Why do you keep coming to us?
It's like Jordan Peterson says, you can't go past a certain level. That's why men struggle with crazy women. Because naturally, if Marlon and I would, the way he says is, if Marlon and I would have a fight, we'd start by disagreeing as men, and then that would turn into pushing him, like shouting, a bit of push, and then one of us is going to smack the other one. And after that, the you come together and you say I'm sorry, and you shake hands, or you just never part ways. But with men fighting women who are just as aggressive but in a different way, or shouting at them or whatever, you can't. You can only go up to stage 3, which is shouting back. After that, if you get violent, then you're instantly criminal. And that's happened to me before, where like that one that I told you about, the one who hit me. She stalked me for about 3 months, wouldn't she?
Which one are you talking about?
The one from
uni. Okay.
Yeah, we shouldn't name names, but it's but we would literally have to lock the our side of the block so she couldn't come in. And that's 6 lads basically held captive by this person who just would not leave me alone.
Yeah, what she did, she made friends with everybody that
on the other side. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was insidious. It was pretty scary. But again,
there's that one time I was cooking my dinner and then she just comes in and starts hanging out with me.
Or I'd come home from a night out and she'd be sitting in my kitchen because someone had let her in, and she persuaded them. She's very persuasive, very manipulative.
Stayed out the weekend.
Oh, like, she never.
One of the girls' rooms.
Yep. And she had her own house. She had somewhere to be. She had a cat, which is now my cat. But yeah, I love my cat. But like things like that, and it got weirder and weirder, didn't it? And like even after all the drama, this is why I ended up in Indonesia, because again, I mean, I told her just never talk to me, don't leave me alone. But then she's like, you see them, the person you loved, and they're like, I just want to do a little something for this and this and whatever, and they make all these excuses so you can't say no. I mean, for example, we were trying to get rid of her when she was staying at my parents' place. She was supposed to stay for 3 days. She stayed for 3 weeks. She was washing her knickers in the sink, in the bathroom sink. And my parents were like, please go home.
I was wondered how she changed, because she didn't have like a change of clothes with her.
No. I mean, she would just, she had I guess she probably brought a few bits and bobs, but she wouldn't want to leave the house or anything like that. And every time we tried to leave the house, she would be putting on her makeup. I mean, one time I tried to get her to leave. She spent 6 hours doing her makeup. So we'd get to about 10 o'clock at night, and then I couldn't just, and then she'd be like, oh, I'm going to have to go across London on my own. She was like 24. Of course she could get across London on her own, or 23 or something like that. It's like, yeah, of course you're able to. But she made me, then she booked herself into a hotel locally, and then was sort of being like, oh, I want to have hotel sex with you and all this other stuff. I was like, okay, because I'm an idiot. Like every man is led by his dick. Unfortunately, it leads you to crazy. But, but it was that kind of manipulation. It's quite, they make it look like you're, it's wrong. You can feel that it's like, what the fuck? But you get suckered into it because they know your weaknesses. In my case, I was a horny little devil. And she knew that, that was the weakness. And also it would be like, but there would be also stuff like, I was trying to get to have a lads one with the boys. And, it was poker night. And I hadn't seen the lads in 6 months. So we were at my mate's house. Nothing, nothing was going on or anything like that. Just going to go play poker and have a few beers. Normal thing to do, right? She made sure one time she insisted on coming with, and the second time my phone was just getting blown up the whole time with her accusing me of cheating on her with whoever else was there, what other girls were there, and all this other stuff. And meanwhile she's staying at my parents' house, so afterwards I have to go back home to bed with her. Ridiculous. And but you don't know how to get out of it. You feel trapped, and you're not sure why you feel trapped, because they're so nice and you love them. You're just like, oh, but you're lovely. Yeah, it messed me up for years. Couldn't have a healthy relationship in years.
It's kind of like emotional abuse.
Oh, it's horrendous. Yeah, and it stays with you. Even now, a normal argument, and I'll instantly go to an extreme. Oh, we are really getting deep today. Yeah. It fucks you up.
It's funny, like we tried to
2 glasses of wine later.
We tried to wrap up an hour ago.
Yeah. And then shit got real.
Then suddenly we went deeper. It's random.
It's easy to do, though. It's very easy to talk about those things, I suppose. Yeah, it is an interesting thing. We should probably edit quite a bit of that. Because otherwise, actually, no, she can't see me because it's totally true, and I've got witnesses. Got several witnesses, but yeah, fuck her. Yeah, it's bizarre though, because it stays with you, and that's your base plate for a relationship. That so any signs of.
Let me ask you both a question.
Oh, hello. Now I'm being interviewed.
Yeah, I'm gonna
turn the mic.
I always have this like, I would rather a bad relationship end like really early as opposed to go on like for years, like we need in like, both of your situations.
Smart.
Now, would you have preferred that now? Like, if looking back on it, would you have preferred that ended in the first year?
So, I'm going to use that.
Ladies
okay.
First.
So, excuse me.
Sorry, it was a little vape.
I always say I don't regret anything in life, so I don't regret it happened, but no.
Given a do-over.
Actually, I don't think I would change it, no, because I wouldn't be the person I am today, to be honest with you.
That's true.
Because if I had ended it earlier, I probably will probably do the same mistake, but with another person.
Right.
But all the stuff that I experienced with him, definitely shaped who I am today.
Right.
Yeah.
Similar. I think that for me, the killer was hope and, the hero complex, because they play into that thing of, I think we discussed this before, as a man, you want to protect the people, you want to be there for them, you want to make sure that they're safe and you feel responsible for them, for their safety. And it's very easy to like kind of, hone in on, because you don't want someone who's totally, you don't want to be with someone who doesn't need you. Equally, men want to be needed. Men need to be needed and women want to be wanted. So that whole hero complex, it's like, if I'm her hero, I will go, I'll govern. And you see it as you being a stronger character and being there for them and being strong, but actually you're being manipulated and you're being lured in a bit further, and they're seeing where those boundaries are, and they weren't there. But then you also have the hope element, which is, I hope this person can feel better, and if I do this and this, then maybe they'll be better, or maybe that will help them, and maybe they'll get through what they're going through, because they've always got trauma or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. So like with my reason why I stayed for so long, that 9-year relationship, one of them was like, I want to, because he was, like I said, he was very miserable. Yeah. So I was like,
I cheer him up and be there.
Yeah, I want to be like the light.
Yeah, but then you end up them dimming your light.
Exactly. Because he had a bad relationship with his family. I was like, I'm trying to encourage him, like, you to,
It's a sacrifice.
Yeah, like, you're trying to help him heal that relationship with his family. My best friend was like, described me as I was his angel. I brought joy to his life. And
for the last
and like I said earlier in the beginning, a lot of girls think, I want to be the fixer, I want to be the healer, and that's what I was at the time. I was like, I want to be that, I want to heal him, I want to make him happy.
Yeah,
I want to make him happy.
Only I can save him.
Yeah, exactly that.
In reality, you can't fix somebody.
Exactly, unless
they want to do the work.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like half the time, it's quite easy to aim off the work to someone else and then just live and squirrel. I mean, you remember the old days when it was like you go into my room at like midday and like she had the curtains drawn so that there was no light in my room, and it was just like, please, just what else? I'm done. So I just stayed in bed. Oh hi, go away, shoot. I actually used a broomstick once to like kind of shoo her out. I shooed them like that on their feet, and then I got screamed at, and I was like, no, I just want to get changed in my room without anyone else in here, if you don't mind. Now, out.
She was saying a lot. She was like,
she wouldn't
like
leave.
Attached to your hip.
She wouldn't leave. She wouldn't. Going to a lecture was the only respite I had from her, and I would just spend the whole lecture bitching and whining because I was so like, it was the only time I could get away from her. So, and I still had to go home.
So this is like in Hall, you could just walk into our block.
Yeah. I mean, the locks didn't really work, and we couldn't be asked with them because, 6 lads, good luck. Although we did get robbed once. So, yeah.
Yeah, we did, yeah. Well, you did.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get burgled, yeah.
Your neighbour, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, it's weird. Weird times. Anyway, right, I think that's probably the appropriate time to shut down on this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to get all of them.
Let's try the second shut down.
Yeah.
Second wrap.
So tell us about your dog. What's your favourite pet? No, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. That got deep. I want to thank you, Celia, for being with us.
Me.
Yeah, it's been a lovely evening.
I enjoyed it.
I'm glad. Yeah, come back anytime, obviously. And we thank you for the tips about empowerment and the deep stories. And I can't believe you actually admitted to cheating on someone.
I'm an open book. I literally
Same here. I like open books. They're the best kind to read.
And I think also, because I'm open book, I think people can relate to me.
Absolutely.
Relatable. I'm not hiding nothing. And also, when you speak your truth, people can't tell you shit about you, because then it's like,
can't use it against you.
Exactly.
It's a strength.
Yeah, you're claiming your power.
And I think people who turn around and say like, you shouldn't be saying that, or they don't tend to be very happy within themselves. And I think if you restrict yourself too much, then where's the real you?
Mm-hmm. You're not being your true authentic self, as I always say.
Yeah, although it does not go well commercially.
You want to fish that rapper?
Sorry, big one.
4 hours later.
Oh shit!
No, we're on 2.5. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to us. I've been Les Steed.
I'm Marlon White,
and this is Celia.
I'm Celia Li.
Yeah, boy. All right. Yeah, lovely to talk.